Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You'll understand the 7 demons within you. You'll understand the whole concept. There's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but anyway, so from a spiritual standpoint,
where I'm coming from, like, it's like we know what right from wrong, and people still make some fucked up decisions. You see where I'm coming from? Like, I gotta expert a question when I get on his panel on some real shit. I gotta question this just for what I want to see what he thinks about it. But I've been out here, right, listening to these kids, and it's crazy how the ages seem to get younger on how these kids know about sex, the things these kids know about drugs, the things these kids know about, violence, guns, and much more. So I feel as though, right, instead of like trying to like, I hear so many people, oh, they're too young for you to have conversations with these kids. No, we're not too. These kids are not too young. We need to talk to our kids before other people get into our kids' heads, right, and influence them. Ever since my kids was young, right, ever since they were little, I've had conversations with my kids. They had questions, right? I found ways to sit here and answer their questions in a way where I won't lose them. All right. What I mean by that lose them is that I gotta sit here, all right, this is what I can tell him, right? Now when the question rises again, I can go a little further into detail. You see where I'm coming from? Like, it's hard to explain, right? But like I tell people, right, we all think that we are the teacher when it comes to our kids' lives, when in reality we're the student and they're the teacher. As time goes by, our kids teach us so many things about life, not just how, not just to raise them, right? Not just to educate them, right? Because as we're educating them and raising them and teaching them morals, honesty, loyalty, respect, and much more, we're learning in the process too. We're also teaching ourselves something new in the process, right? And I don't think a lot of people see it like that, right? Like, I don't know, I'm just a person. Like, ever since I was little, I was taught to live, love, and laugh, right? Like, I know that we're going to have obstacles in our ways, right? And while we have these obstacles in our ways, we got to focus on how to overcome these obstacles. But that don't mean that we got to bring ourselves down and let people bring us down, all right? Everybody's got their own lives, right? And we all fight our demons, right, in the same hell in our own way. But, yeah, I mean, we got to start keeping a better eye on these kids. I'm going to talk a little more about this after I get done with this. I'm about to get started on these videos, right? I want to talk a little bit about what's going on here in Philadelphia. All right, I'll get back to the kids' conversation in a little bit, man. I just had to get that out there, man, because I'm listening to these kids, and it's crazy that I've seen kids as 8 years old, right, talk about politics, talk about, starting a job, trying to get out, the trenches and helping out their family. But people say that these kids ain't smart. People say that kids ain't capable of, understanding. Some kids maybe, some that's true. It may be true for some kids. But the reality is that a lot of these kids, right, do pay attention. All right. So let's stop pinpointing the blame on just the kids and understand and realize that the adults are the ones raising these kids. Oh shit, we got Miss V in the building, man. Big shout out to MTGV Crime Podcast. All right, guys, make sure y'all go check out Miss V. All right, great content, great conversations, great topics, and she is somebody that inspires me to do. Listen, I haven't done it in a while. I got to get back to it, but this is happening right now in Philadelphia. I got so many videos to review and react though, but the way she does her video, like, yo, she really be into that shit. Like, she's passionate about it, yo. Like, she can really inspire the next mofo that watch, all right? So make sure you go watch her, show her some support, all right? Because you won't be disappointed. She's got a hell of a lot of great content. The way she breaks down these videos, listen, you can't help but love this video, all right? So make sure y'all go check her out. So let's get this podcast started. All right. we're gonna start with, union drama, city chaos. All right, we got a few videos, right, updating y'all. But I mean, we had the last live that we talked about, on Philly. I'm talking about Philly. We talked about the strike ending. We broke down some videos. A Shorty gave her thoughts, right? Well, it seems like the strike might come back, all right? We might seem to have another strike here in Philadelphia. I know that the citizens are allegedly still not happy, right? According to the news, right? I still gotta go around and ask some questions, right? I gotta who's gonna hype me up? Who gonna shoot? Listen. Who's gonna hype up a Shorty to go up there and ask some questions with some real shit? Because people got some stink ass attitudes. I gotta be professional. Listen, I love my community, right? But I could really have conversations with the ones I know around my community. Those that are coming in, I really don't know. So it's kind of be how do I ask y'all these questions without y'all getting offended? But there shouldn't be nothing to get offended. You see where I'm coming from? But hey, listen. This is the stuff that we be talking about. That's why I be telling people, man, people listen. People ask for help. People want change. People want to make a difference, right? But instead, they bring chaos. I'm sitting here y'all don't want no change. That's obvious. But blessings. We got Tyron Motif in the building, guys. Make sure y'all go check out Tyron. Yo, I just realized my eyes look chinky right now, and I don't know why. Maybe because of the way I got my hair done today. This shit. I just wanted to put this shit in a ponytail. All right. I straightened it out a little bit as much as I could, and I put this bitch in the ponytail. It's too hot. I've been sweating. But we got Tyron Motif in the building, guys. Make sure y'all go check out Tyron. All right, great conversations, great topics. If you are into celebrity gossip, he is the man to go to, all right? I got to give a big shout out to this king, man, straight from Philly. Welcome to Philly, baby. All right? So listen, I love his content. Make sure y'all go check him out. And not just because I like his content, right? But because you might get a different perspective about what's being said on the topics that he's bringing. All right? We're not here to judge. We're not here to bash. All right? We're here to bring solutions to the table. All right? We're here to have some fun. We're here to enjoy. We're here to enjoy life. Live, love, laugh. Why we got to be so fucking mad all the time? All right? Let's laugh a little bit, even through the fucking pain. All right. We all go through some strife in life. All right. But back on topic, yo. Back on topic. All right. There's still a lot of bullshit going on in Philadelphia. The crime is still escalating, like y'all hear me say on my lyrical poem. All right. I gotta find a way. All right. I don't like rapping. I don't like doing none of that. But I gotta find a way to put my poetry behind the beat, right, and make it sound lyrical. I'm so used to poetry, acting, that I don't know, I don't see it in me. But maybe I might find somebody that could put my words, right, into lyrics on some real shit. I've tried it. I'm not saying I'm bad at it. I just need some practice on that shit. And it's not me. I mean, listen, I can't sit here and rap for my life. Y'all hear this chipmunk voice? I may have a beautiful face, but my voice sounds like a chipmunk. I belong with Alvin and the motherfucking chipmunks and the chimpettes. Did I say that? Man, fuck how I said that. It don't even matter. Everybody grammar fucked up. Hell shit, man. But listen, all right. With all this going on, who truly holds the power in labor negotiations? The union leadership, the rank and file members, or the city administration? And like I tell people, right, there's ranks to this shit. The legislators, which, I mean, and if y'all don't understand, that includes all of them. All right. But I want to hear y'all opinion. What do y'all think? Who truly holds the power in labor negotiations? The union leadership, the rank and file members, or the city administration? All right. If union members reject the deal, does that signal a failure or leadership, or a triumph of collective voice? And why I'm asking these questions, right? Because according to the reports the city and the union came to negotiations, but but the decision has yet to be put into vote, which means that the decision isn't even made yet. And then you're hearing people say that they might go back to strike. So they might be going back on strike. Crazy part about it is the city isn't fully cleaned yet. A city that, the union members, sanitation workers told people, right, from Philadelphia to go and dirty, and motherfuckers from Philadelphia went and did it. They was out here like, yes, master. Yes, master. They was out here feeding Master Splinter. Now motherfuckers want to be running from Master Splinter. Like, we ain't already have problems with Master Splinter. Like, our fucking streets looked at no better than fucking Joe's apartment. Do y'all remember Joe's apartment? I think these fucking water bugs be talking when they fucking crawling down the streets and shit. Like, I be hearing them. Like, have y'all ever burned an ant? Do y'all know ants fucking scream when you burn them? I mean, if you're into science, you will know what I'm talking about. Like, this shit is crazy. I swear these motherfuckers be talking. They gonna come back at us. Mother Nature ain't playing. Y'all seen that that show on HBO called The Swarm? You seen how the this fucking entity I can't say the fucking word right comes out of nowhere, like the gods came from the blue, but you can't even see it, right? And it's kind of like the gods of the creatures, right? And they're coming back at everybody on earth on some blood for blood, eye for eye, tooth for tooth shit. Man, Mother Nature ain't playing with us. We need to get our shit the fuck together. She's like, y'all destroying my beautiful earth. Now it's time for us to come back at y'all. Yo, man, watch. When we out here living like Mad Max, motherfuckers gonna get it together, man. But hey, look, listen, man. Let me ask y'all this. Is a 3% annual raise enough to keep pace with inflation and rising living costs in Philly? Can a $1,500 bonus ever compensate for years of underpaid essential labor? What does a strike like this reveal about the fragility of city infrastructures? And should residents bear the burden of disrupted services or stand in solidarity with workers demanding better conditions? All right, I want y'all to keep these questions in mind. All right, because we're going to watch these little videos right here. I don't know what happened. I had it all set up, but this, you know what? It's all right. It's all right. Y'all won't. It's all right. All right. So let's watch these videos right here. All right. So we got this first video. DC. My bad. DC 33 could potentially go back on strike in Philadelphia if tentative agreement isn't ratified. All right. So this was posted a day ago. All right. I wanted to make sure I had enough videos to show y'all, get enough information, right, before I come on here and just talk. All right. Before I come on here and put my foot in my mouth. All right. So before I do all this stuff, I'll make sure that I do research. All right. So sometimes the videos might be a day old, 2 days old. Yes, because I want to make sure that before I speak on this, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right. Some people come on here, they just talk, rant, and don't know what the hell they talking about. So let's listen to what they got to say, and then y'all will understand why, right? I'm asking these questions.
Well, the president of District Council 33 says his workers may go on strike again. That could happen if the union rejects a tentative deal with the city when they vote as early as next week. Workers have already been working under a one-year contract extension that gave them a 5% pay bump last November. Under the new deal, they'll also receive a 3% wage increase every year over the next 3 years, plus a $1,500 one-time signing bonus. Dan Snyder reports now on what the union is saying about the contract.
I'm not happy now. That hasn't changed.
District Council 33 President Greg Boulware hasn't changed his tune on his feelings of the deal between the union and city to end the strike. On Thursday, he struck a different tone than the celebratory mood at the city's announcement a day before.
It is a good deal, and I think that throughout the negotiations and our talks, hopefully that the leadership of DC 33 did come to realize that.
I don't know what's to celebrate. The same poor people that were poor yesterday are still poor today.
Boulware's main issue with the deal is raises. The union had sought a 5% annual pay bump, but in the end accepted 3% a year. And while he didn't give a direct answer As to why they agreed to the deal, he says his team was successful in fending off many demands the city made.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I have a feeling, why is my camera that high? I have a feeling that if the judge didn't order him to stand down, because the judge has been interrupting, the strike from, obviously you got 911 dispatchers on strike. Everybody was on fucking strike. So little by little, they were, giving them injunctions. But my thing is, right, when you're going to strike, you go all the way. He folded. As a leader, you stand on the fucking front line fighting, even if your soldiers fall. Even if your soldiers fall, you stand on that front line. And Greg folded, which makes me like, did they pay you? You see where I'm coming from? Like, are you paid? Is like something else going on? I mean, I got so many questions. You see where I'm coming from? Like, wait a minute. I was with you and I was with Sherelle Parker. I'm not picking a side on this shit. Because when motherfuckers fail to realize that, okay, I get it. We got this bump in the road. Sherelle Parker has done a lot for our fucking kids here in Philadelphia. All right. And I appreciate what she is bringing back to our fucking kids. Other mayors didn't do that. They was taking and taking and taking, and she fought to get us back programs. She fought back to renovate these parks. She fought back for our kids to get the things that they're having right now. Along with us on these streets that are trying to bring more resources and more programs, trying to opening more community centers to get our kids off these corners. So she's doing something. Like, when it comes to this pay shit, which y'all fucking fail to realize, it takes all the legislators. She ain't the only one. She ain't the only fucking one. And I'm trying to figure out why ain't nobody fucking asking, where's Shapiro at? Why isn't he stepping up as the governor? What is he doing? We got schools full of asbestos. Why isn't he getting together with Boyle? Come on, Philadelphia. This ain't it. All right. Y'all out here. I get it. Y'all in your emotions. But before we talk, let's do a little more research. Can we find the answers? Yes. But we so fucking divided that even if the war fucking ended, right? And the freaking, how can I say, the air was to clear, the smoke was to clear out, we would still have debris in our fucking eyes.
Like changes to sick policy and work rules.
We gave up no concessions in this contract. So that in itself is a win. Multiple times, it's kind of like take it or leave it. And so we kept digging and we kept pushing them. And we were able to get things crossed off of each list.
Meantime, union sanitation workers were back on the streets Thursday. We saw crews helping people get rid of trash in the Andorra neighborhood, and they were out with trash trucks in Tacony, where cleanup was happening at a neighborhood drop-off site that just yesterday was lined with trash. But these same workers still have to sign off on the deal. We asked Boulware what he's heard from members.
It's a mixed bag from everybody right now. So people are still now just digesting what's been accomplished.
Boulware said the union is aiming to schedule a vote on that tentative deal sometime early next week. He says if that deal is rejected, workers could go back on strike. He didn't say that would happen, but that it is a possibility. In University City, Dan Snyder, CBS News, Philadelphia.
And now that thousands of DC 33 workers are...
That shit is crazy, man. Like, I'm just hoping people come together and clean these streets. The same streets that the sanitation workers and the citizens of Philadelphia decided to dirty. They complain, oh my God, Master Splinter's coming. We're afraid. Well, bitches, y'all should have thought about that before Master Splinter came out the motherfucking sewer and decided to call all the rats from motherfucking New York to come to Philly. All right? Because the rats in New York are having a feast here in Philadelphia. Thanks to our fucking dirty asses. Even though I didn't dirty it, you see where I'm coming from? It's some fucked up shit that people did. There was other ways to go about this situation. But no, y'all just wanted to repeat history. Y'all couldn't break the chains of society and be who the fuck y'all truly meant to be. No, we had to do what they did in the past. Dwell over it. Repeat it. Do the same shit and not learn. Go back and figure out what happened in 86. But we're doing the same shit and dwelling on something that a lot of people don't even know about. And I know a lot of people going to get mad at the Shorty about this, but we need to fucking start doing our research. All right? Because it's just way more than just Sherelle Parker. All right? Y'all, Sherelle Parker this. She became the mayor. She ain't do what she promised. She did a lot of what she promised. There's a lot she can't do. So I'm on the union worker side, but I'm also on her side. There were rumors for fucking, weeks. Oh, she gave herself a raise. Y'all go look it up. Her raise was set before she came into office. And now she's trying to get the union workers to get their raise. But all this shit is happening. Like, why can't they sit at the table and, figure this shit the fuck out? What's so hard about that? Why do some leaders celebrate a deal while others call it disappointment? Who gets to define victory? Is the public more sympathetic to sanitation workers now, or will support fade once the trash is gone? I mean, shit, let's see if they clean up all the trash. Are they going to also go around with the trucks, right, that throw that water and that soap, right? Because the streets are full of nothing but fucking trash juice. The streets, the sidewalks, everything, because people want it to be disgusting. Yo, I don't want to see what happens if the grid was to go down.
Back on the job, some impacted city services are also returning. Today, maintenance crews at city pools that were shut down started the process of reopening. Crews in Fishtown spent the day refilling this pool. The city says the goal is to have all of the affected city pools open as early as Monday. People who live in Fishtown say they are very happy things are returning to normal after a very tough week.
It was very frustrating because it was so hot out and there was nothing for us to do. All of the free things in the neighborhood that the city provides for us as families and caregivers, like pools and libraries, were all just fully closed to the public. So there wasn't really anywhere we could go to cool off besides the house.
In addition to pools, libraries in the city are also open again, and rec centers have also returned to normal hours. Our coverage of the tentative agreement continues on CBSPhiladelphia.com.
Believe, we need to get it together, Philadelphia, man. We're going to move on right to the next video, man. Like, this is wild.
City services are slowly coming back after...
So you hear her say city services are slowly coming back. DC 33 union workers back on the job in Philadelphia after wrecking strike. Week-long strike. I was like, what the fuck am I reading? I'm like, what's a wrecking strike? Shit, Ray, get it together. Do I have to wake up? You still sleep? Shit, it's already 9:16. Get it together. What's wrong with you, Shorty? Baby daddy, I need some insulin. I'm still asleep. My sugars have dropped.
City services are slowly coming back after District Council 33's 8-day strike. Video from Chopper 6 shows workers starting to clear piles of trash, but the mood among workers is mixed. The tentative deal with the city gives them a 3% raise in each of the next 3 years, but far from the union's request for 5% annual raises. This afternoon, we did hear from the DC 33's president. Action News reporter Maggie Kent joining us now live from West Philadelphia with those details. Maggie.
Yes, Sarah, members of DC 33 woke up this morning with their alarm clock and they headed back to work, but with mixed feelings in tow. Many of them are not exactly happy with this tentative agreement with the city, and now it's up to them to vote as to whether they want to ratify this new contract. As DC 33 moves in to clear out the trash in Philadelphia, we're hearing from District Council 33 union leadership.
I don't know what's to celebrate, The same poor people that were poor yesterday are still poor today. The 3% it helps a little.
It comes after Mayor Shorty Parker announced the tentative deal and the end to a 9-day worker strike on Wednesday.
Your city values you and the work that you do every day for our residents.
In the Northeast, Mack trucks are hauling away dumpsters this morning along Red Lion and Calera Road. In Fox Chase, there are still piles to clean up at Pine Road and Shady Lane at a designated sanitation site. In Andorra, residents are anxiously waiting until normally scheduled trash pickup resumes on Monday. Are you looking forward to this week having regular
Yes,
pickup?
I am looking forward to it. I am. It's just, it was a different.
This deal includes a 3% wage increase each year for 3 years and a $1,500 bonus in the first year.
Oh, why didn't you pause where I wanted you to pause? All right. So if you're in Philadelphia, even if you're not in Philadelphia, I would like to get your honest opinion. Do y'all believe that this tentative deal is a good deal for the sanitation workers or not? All right. I think they got more than, oh, no. They'll get a 9% after 3 years. So after 3 years, they'll have a 9% raise, or is that all accumulated together? With on the first year is the only time they get the bonus. So why not get a bonus every year? Why not get that bonus every year? Should that bonus be included every year? I would like to get y'all opinions, like on some real shit, right? And listen, I do these lives, right? Because when I get different perspectives, right, and I get other people's opinions, even other people's ideas, I'm able to come and talk to these politicians, right, and give them the ideas. I could even, how can I say, I'm not tweaking to the point where I could, get them to accept an agreement or accept, listen, there's so many things we do when we go up there. Like, when we was talking about the cameras, trying to get them, trying to get cameras, right? It took us a minute, but a lot of us parents got together, right? And now, like I was telling people, when was it? I think it was last month or a month ago before school ended, right? I told a lot of parents, my daughter's school is one of the schools that now they're going to put cameras in each and every one of the classrooms. It's going to be one of the first schools where they're going to try it out at. So if we come together, right, and we fight and we demand for the things that we need, right, for our communities, to better our communities, we will get them. There's a way to do things, man. Shout out to Nate the Great. First of all, let me give a shout out to my baby pops, my fiance, all right? Let me give a shout out to Nate the Great podcast, The Word, all right, Miss April Showers. There's a few people on here that have supported the Shorty for a while, man. Kwame Brown, man, big shout out to him because he's another person that when it comes to these topics, man, he's giving a Shorty great advice, all right? So I'm not going to knock the man down. If y'all hate him for whatever the fuck y'all hate him, that's on y'all. But I got to give props to those that have been, how can I say, supporting a Shorty. Letting her know, like, hey, you got this, no matter how hard it gets. But these conversations that I'm talking about can be held with the mayor, the governor. Listen, let's put it like this: with all the legislators, all right, with Congress, with with the people at their table. We have fucking town hall meetings in every city, every state, but people don't attend them at all. May you be able to record on these town hall meetings? No, not all the time. But if you get permission and they allow you, you'll be able to record live on that shit. For those that, they won't let you. Man, look, listen. If you talk and ask for permission, they might. But at the end of the day, look, listen. If you don't speak with your chest out, you ain't getting the fuck nowhere. But I would love to get an honest opinion about this. All right. Do y'all believe that our sanitation workers, right, deserve more than that pay? Is a 3% annual raise enough to keep pace with inflation and rising living costs in Philly? And can a 1,500 bonus ever compensate for years of underpaid essential labor? All right. The same conversations that I'll be having out here in the streets, I am having out here. I'm having on here on this platform with y'all. All right. It's no different. Right. It's just that here I have boots on the ground. On here, I just have a voice to put out there. That's why when people be like, hey, listen, I don't care about the likes. If y'all could do a Shorty a favor, share the video. Help spread the message. That right there, I appreciate those that do it. All right. That matters more because at the end of the day, we're spreading the message. We're trying to get people together, right, to try to make a change and a difference. Can we change the world? Can we make a difference in one day? No. It's not going to happen in one day. Little by little, yeah. We're always going to have, how can I say, listen, the world's going to be like yin and yang. There's always going to be some evil there lurking. There's always going to be bad people there, right? But it's up to you. It's up to you if you let that evil consume you, if you let that evil around you.
the first year. The 9,000 union members, including 911 dispatchers, custodial, and medical examiner employees, still have to vote on the terms.
They have the
Damn.
ability to choose yes or no. If the members choose to accept it, then that's fantastic. If the members choose to say no, then we would have to go back to the drawing board.
Oh, so it's up to the union members, the workers, sanitation workers, 911 dispatchers. So if they vote no, what's going to happen if y'all go back to the drawing board? Y'all going on strike, Greg? Because y'all just came out of strike. What's going to happen? You see what I'm saying, guys? Like, that's what I'm saying. Y'all got to be careful. Like, listen, it's so much going on. I hope they don't go back on strike, but will they take this 3%? They said they will, so I don't know. I didn't know that you had to vote for it. I'm like, I thought that once you shook that hand, the deal was made, but I guess it's different. Now everybody got to put a vote into it. Like, what?
And they need that majority in order to ratify this tentative contract. They will be hosting an in-person election here for that vote happening early next week. They're hoping for Monday, not a date that has been set just yet.
Y'all hoping for Monday, the day that they're supposed to officially go back to work. That's what y'all hoping for. That is crazy.
Many DC 33 employees that we spoke to say they're a little bit conflicted about what to do, but of course, they'll make their voice known at the polls next week. We're live in West Philadelphia. Maggie Kent, Channel 6 Action News. Guys?
Yeah, the outcome of that vote.
They shot the fuck out. So Monday is when they officially go back to work. Woo! How has social media reshaped public support for labor movements like DC 33s? If anybody from Philly is watching, I would love to hear y'all comments down below. Is social media helping them reshape the message that they put out there? I mean, to me, they folded, but would this strike have played out differently without viral images of overflowing dumpsters and picket lines? I want to know who's going to be brave enough to answer this question. Would this strike have played out differently without viral images of overflowing dumpsters and picket lines?
Well, thousands of DC 33 members and workers are back on the job for the second day. Now that the strike is finally over, city services that were impacted are also slowly now returning to some sense of normalcy. CBS News Philadelphia reporter Ray Strickland joining us live at a city pool out there in Fishtown, one of 17 that had to be shut down when workers walked off the job. So, Ray, what's the plan now to get that pool and all the others reopened?
Yeah, Natasha, the city says the plan is to have all of the pools that were affected by the strike open as early as Monday. Workers here at the Fishtown pool have already started the process. As you can see, they spent the past few hours today filling it up with water. And also, as you can see, it's pretty much full. But it's still going to be another day or two before this pool reopens. The nearby library here in Fishtown, though, is open as well as others across the city. Now that the strike is over, the people we spoke to say they are happy these services are returning after a frustrating week.
The work is underway to get more than a dozen city pools reopened after the DC 33 strike. Crews could be seen cleaning the pool in Fishtown before filling it up with water. The pool is one of 17 that is anticipated to reopen as early as Monday.
It was very frustrating because it was so hot out and there was nothing for us to do. All of the free things in the neighborhood that the city provides for us as like families and caregivers, like pools and libraries, were all just fully closed to the public. So there wasn't really anywhere we could go to cool off besides the house.
For Louis Burnow and his daughter Sophia, seeing the pool being refilled was exciting. Burnow says her swimming lesson was canceled when the workers went on strike. He says it's great to see it come back after being closed for more than a week.
Very exciting. So we're on the app. They haven't told us yet if they're going to start up next week. So we'll see. But it looks like it's getting ready. to be back. So yeah, she'll be going her little classes.
Maintenance staff at city pools were among the 9,000 workers that went on strike, which also included street maintenance crews, crossing guards, and library staff. The library in Fishtown and others across the city have since reopened, and rec centers have also returned to normal hours. Claire Gubler visited the Fishtown Library for the first time since the strike ended.
I had a list of books that I wanted, so I was waiting for the library to restart so I could come and grab them, but I've got 1 out of 2.
And the city says the plan is to, again, have all the pools that were affected by the strike open as early as Monday. And they also hope to have more than...
Good. Yeah, because I want to, I was dying to take my daughter to the library. Now I can take my daughter again to the library. Fuck that. Like, y'all sitting here closing all the good parts of Philadelphia. You know what's crazy? I don't know if y'all heard the rumors, right? And these rumors have been going around for years, but if y'all have noticed, right, little by little, it's been happening within a lot of cities, right, throughout the years, right, in different states. They're planning on shutting down all libraries, and I think they want to keep, one library per city. Listen, I don't know how it goes. I was looking into this. I'm still diving down a rabbit hole. I've drowned in a couple of ponds and oceans trying to, this little bunny don't know how to fucking swim in oceans. My little legs and my little arms was having, them struggling the waves, everything like shit. I'm trying to come up, shit. Next thing I know, I land on mud. Now I'm stuck on some sticky shit. Like, I can't get out. Shit. Like, man, going down rabbit holes ain't easy, yo. For real, for real. Did I get a cash app? Hold on 1 second, because my phone is on mute. Let's see something. I didn't even know. I'm so sorry. Oh, shit. Thank you. I appreciate you for the cash app. Shout out to Ms. V, yo. Yes, I did. I appreciate you for the support. I ain't even noticed that. I wasn't going to notice it until you told me something. Y'all might think I'm weird, but I have a cash app because my son wanted me to get a cash app, right? And I forget about my cash app. Because, since I have a business, I use Zelle and I use PayPal a lot. So, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for letting me know. Yo, I would have never known because, I don't have my Cash App active like that. So I do appreciate the support. Anybody else, listen, my Cash App is down below. I almost forgot about that Cash App shit. Thank you, Ms. V. I appreciate you for that, man. So shout out to Ms. V for sending the Cash App. Damn, I just got distracted. What was I saying? I threw myself. Damn, I'm what the fuck? We going into the next topic. No, I was in the middle of saying something. Right, stop smoking. I don't know what the hell I said, but we're gonna move on to the next topic. All right, it was meant for somebody, and whoever it was meant for is gonna catch it. All right, so. There's so much happening, man. I appreciate you, Ms. Vio. I miss them all the time, too. Laugh out. Listen, I be forgetting about my Cash App. Because, listen, everybody come to me with PayPal, right? PayPal or Shine. That's what they come to me when they want to buy something off of me. Like, hey, I need a couple shirts, man. Listen, when I'm outside, my little thingy go. I be cracking the fuck up at people, man. I got this little thing, right? When I go sell merchandise outside. Man, this little thing be giving me a little hassle. But Zelle hooked me up, man. Zelle hooked me up with the little machines and stuff like that to do my business. So I use this with my phone. I need to get the little thing that goes in the bottom instead of carrying this. I need to catch up, but I like this better. Yo, but I really, really forgot about Cash App. Everybody come with PayPal to the Shorty, yo. Don't worry, man. I'm becoming a dinosaur. I call my baby pops a dinosaur so much because he's 42, right? And I'm like, he's a fucking dinosaur, man. And I'm becoming one. I'm getting old, and my face is not matching it. My whole life, everybody thought I was young, but I'm really getting old. My body is not catching up to my age. My body feels older than my age. I'm on abuelita. So no, let me stop, man. I'm not getting old. I'm only fucking 35. I'm stronger than ever. Shit, you got me fucked up. I was just saying that to my physical therapist, man. Listen, I'm somebody that doesn't give up. And as soon as they told me that, if this doesn't go away, they're gonna do a surgery. I said, what? Nah, no surgeries. I'm gonna start working out. I got you. Watch this. You telling me that any wrong move is gonna fuck my back up? Watch me fight this. Man, you got me fucked up. It's to the point, y'all. Listen. It's to the point. Let me see if I can change it, man. You got me fucked up. I gotta shave. I'm not even gonna do that. Should I? Listen, a shorty is back. Like, listen. Yes. Look. Yes. I'm flexible. Again, you got me fucked up. Y'all told me bed bound. I'm not gonna be bed bound. I'm gonna be back to a fucking spider. You gonna see me climbing these walls like I'm Spider Woman on some shit. You got me fucked up. I'm back. And like, oh, you gonna get the surgery? No surgery. I'm gonna work out. You got me fucked up. You're gonna tell me I can't do this, I can't do that. You're never gonna be able to become, be a health aide again. What? Watch this. You're telling me that I need a surgery that's gonna bed bound me? Watch me get back to the old me, old school. Nah, man. I'm sorry, the Philly's coming out. Y'all gonna hear me talk a little ghetto. My bad. Sometimes we be sounding stupid. And yes, I said that shit. Like the way we talk, I need to get my shit together. But yeah, man, I'm all they doing is trying to get you, But let me play this video, right, when it comes to the strike. This is the last video I'm going to play right here, right? Because I want to get into, let me see, where is it? The panel discussed the impact of Philly workers, right? So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. So let me play this last video, right here of the strike. But they're going to get into, there's a whole group of people talking about the strike. Thank you guys. I appreciate everybody that's showing support, everybody that's sharing the video, those that do share it, I appreciate that. Right, but before we get into this next video, right, should striking workers be offered the same legal protection as protections as on-duty public employees? Does the city bear moral responsibility for the safety of workers if failed to protect during a sanctioned strike? How many lives must be disrupted before labor disputes are taken seriously by city leadership? Is it ethical to ask workers to risk their bodies for fair wages and then leave them vulnerable on the picket line? All right. And yes, there's a reason I'm saying.
New details tonight after a DC 33 union member was nearly killed when he was hit by a car while on the picket line. 36-year-old Tyree Ford was struck by an alleged drunk driver who is due in court tomorrow. Well, tonight, Ford's friends and families are opening up about his injuries. And Action News reporter Brianna Smith has more.
It's been 1 week since Tyree Ford was rushed to the hospital after he was hit by an alleged drunk driver. His family says he's made very little progress, but they're holding out hope for this father of four who has a baby on the way.
He's a fighter, and he has a lot to live for. And it was like
Crystal Purnell Bolden says her brother Tyree Ford remains in critical condition in the hospital after he was struck by an alleged drunk driver in Port Richmond on July 3rd.
I was devastated. I was screaming. I was upset. I was angry, to be honest.
The 36-year-old sanitation worker was on strike with Ask Me District Council 33. Police say Ford was picketing on North Delaware Avenue when 41-year-old Damon Robinson hit him and his pregnant fiance before driving away. Both were taken to the hospital.
To see my brother in a bed like that, just because he was fighting for his rights, advocating for a fair living wage.
Purnell Bolden says Ford saved his fiance by pushing her out of the way. She was released from the hospital and now sits at Ford's bedside.
But I'm scared for my brother because he's not out the woods. and he has all these operations that he has to still go through.
Pernell Bolden says Ford remains on a ventilator with a brain bleed, fractured
Wow.
skull, broken bones, and an eye
Damn.
injury, among other issues. But the family says they're not losing faith and hope his life-altering incident is a lesson for others.
More people should stop drinking and driving, and I just hope my brother just stay the course. You know what I mean? Whether he's going to still be with the city, we don't know how his physical situation is going to be, and I think he will continue to survive and get through this.
Ford.
That is fucked up, yo, for real, for real. Like, would this story have gained traction if the victim weren't a father, a fiance, or a fighter? Why does it take tragedy for the public to see the humanity behind a strike? And what's crazy, right? When it came to this strike, I said it from the beginning. All right. One thing that I'm going to sit here and say before I say what I'm going to say, I want to take the time and apologize, right? Because when somebody sent me the video the first time, I was getting other videos, right? They were saying that, you know, that the strikers were the aggressor and that the driver wasn't drunk. So I'm still diving down a rabbit hole, but I need to apologize because I said, like, damn, if they were the aggressors, you see where I'm coming from? Like, why is you striking and, you know, being aggressive with people? But I gotta be, you know, I gotta be honest. I haven't really dove down that rabbit hole to see what's going on yet all the way. I've gotten bits and pieces. But my condolences, right? I gotta apologize because I thought that the strikers were the aggressors the first time, right? When I spoke on it, and the driver, you know, was the defendant. I'm gonna put it like that, the victim. But it turns out that, you know, allegedly the driver was drunk. But they're saying allegedly. I mean, this story has changed so much, so I really don't want to speak on it yet. But I do gotta say that apology because I spoke ahead of time. And I shouldn't have spoken ahead of time. So I apologize to their families, right? And my condolences go out. You know, not my condolences. How can I say? My prayers go out to the family and to the injured victims, because this situation is crazy, right? I'm just like looking at this because, let me put it like this: everybody is doing everything asshole backwards, from the mayor to the union workers, right, to the citizens of Philadelphia. And then what's crazy is, this is why I keep saying that if war was to come, we really will all drop like flies. This is not just a joke or, you know, something that I'm saying. This is something that I've been seeing.
In the face of darkness, I stand. In the face of darkness, I stand.
And that's some real shit, man. Like, it is so much going on around us that we have to put a shield up, man. Like, our muscle, listen, our hearts don't break. They're, how can I say, they're not glass. They're not a table. They're not a chair. They're not a bed. You see where I'm coming from? But they sure as hell can get torn into pieces because it's a muscle. You see where I'm coming from? I can go about this in so many ways, yo. All right. Blessings, blessings. We got Carla in the building, man. Big shout out to Carla. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that, Carla. Carla, Carla. I said it in English. It sounds weird in English, yo. Carla. But yeah, we're about to move on to the next topic, yo. So it's a series of mass shootings happening here in Philadelphia, right? Now, my biggest question is, right, why do we treat mass shootings as isolated incidents when they've become part of our national rhythm? Should nightlife venues be held accountable? Should midnight venues be held accountable for safety lapse, or is it the shifting blame from the real issue? Do they shift? Like, should these nightclubs, these places where they hold these venues at, be held accountable for when, like, a shooting breaks out, a stabbing or something, right? I mean, I would like to hear your honest opinions. Why do we treat mass shootings as isolated incidents when they've become part of our national rhythm? Right? Here in Philadelphia, there's times where you be like, damn, Should I duck? Should I dive? Should I stay in the house? You see where I'm coming from? Because as soon as you step foot in the house, there's always somebody with a weapon, whether they're driving through or they walking through. All we need is some water around they could be swimming through like pirates. Shit. Is it time to stop asking what was the motive and start asking, why is this still possible? Because we know why the motive is in a lot of situations, and sometimes the motive is petty. My question is, and I don't know if y'all have the same question, why is this still possible? Do we over-empathize individual pathology and underplay systematic neglect when it comes to gun violence? All right. And I ask these questions, right? And I want y'all to keep them in mind. Keep them in mind for when I play these videos, all right?
Breaking news out of South Philadelphia. That is where a mass shooting broke out early this morning. Ellen Kaloje is live now.
And I'm going to pause this because this happened around the 4th of July. All right. I was supposed to play this video a little while back, but the strike was happening. So I've been a little distracted with the strike that I want to touch onto this, and I want to ask questions. All right.
At the scene in Ellen, I mean, such a tragedy this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Greg. Good morning, everyone. So a little bit of good news in all this. I just spoke to a few police officers, and they say they got the original number incorrect. They originally said they thought 11 people were shot in this mass shooting, but they've downgraded that number to 8. So if anything, just a little bit of positive news in this terrible shooting that happened just before 4 o'clock this morning. Let's get right to that video. It all happened at this bar called 7 Elements just before 4 o'clock this morning. It's on the 1100 block of South 11th Street. Again, at a place called 7 Elements. The door, police say, was locked. So police say they had to break it down when they arrived. And once inside, they say they found the shell casings, several shell casings on the second floor, on the stairwell, and in the parking lot, a chaotic scene where people had been running in all directions. They found 3 people shot. Those 3 immediately taken to local hospitals. 5 more checked themselves into area hospitals. So again, 8 in total. A security guard was shot in the face and a woman in the back, both in critical condition right now. The other were all shot in various parts of their bodies. And we talked to a neighbor who says he cannot believe this happened on the 4th of July.
I hear stuff going on here at this one corner restaurant all the time. I thought it was fireworks because all night long we heard fireworks and pop, pop, pop. And then I did hear some ambulance, but the police station is right down the corner, so I hear it anyway.
You either got to be new to Philadelphia or not around Philadelphia. I know there's certain parts in Philadelphia where it's calm. But you're not going to sit here and tell me that around the damn clubs, around the bars, around these little stores and shit like that, you're not used to seeing the shootings. All right. It's a shame. Unfortunately, yes, y'all hearing this from my mouth. All right. I'm not shocked. I'm used to it. I'm not shocked. Once again, for somebody to sit here and say, oh my God, I can't believe. What can't you believe? Get the fuck out of here with your capping ass. You can't believe what? Didn't happen where? What?
A lot. I couldn't believe it because I'm right here. I live right there. How could that happen so close to me?
Oh, because it happened close to you. It couldn't happen.
So that gentleman says he's been here for about 3 years and he's seen a lot of trouble at this bar. He says neighbors have complained, but he just, again, cannot believe that this happened. Again, people have been here all morning. Police officers, we see the fire department is here now. They are going inside. We'll find out exactly what's going on with that. But again, they're combing through evidence. Officers say they will be here for a lot of the day. They're going through surveillance video, they tell me, and also a lot of evidence inside. They say there's a lot of evidence, including money, IDs, and a lot of things, as you can imagine, because they say it was chaos, people running in and out. But again, they have no suspects and no motive at this point, Greg. But
how y'all don't got no suspects with all them cameras around y'all? Get the fuck out my face. Y'all bullshit. Y'all playing us, yo. Facts. We got the beautiful Miss Chicago in the building, and she says every time Chicago downplay our crime, we end up having a crime spree. And it's the same thing over here in Philly, and people not peeping that. Peeping it. Like, let's stop trying to ask what was the motive of the shooting, and let's start asking, how is this still possible? How is this still happening in our city? Can a city claim to be revitalized, right, if its residents fear celebration could turn into survival? What does it say about Philly's priorities when zoning violations get more attention than trauma recovery? And that's a serious question. So if you're from Philadelphia, I would love to hear your opinion. Your opinion, not a debate. Your opinion. Let's get let's get the conversation started.
At about 3:53 this morning, uniformed officers.
And I want to remind y'all once again, this happened around the 4th of July weekend.
Officers from the 3rd Police District responded to a call for a person shot on the 1100 block of South 11th Street, 1132 to be exact, at an establishment called 7 Elements Restaurant Bar Lounge. Upon arrival, officers discovered 3 persons suffering from gunshot wounds. They were immediately taken to area hospitals. At least 2 of them are currently listed in critical condition. Since that time, we have learned that in addition to the 3 that police transported to the hospitals, an additional 8 have come into area hospitals, various hospitals in the area, suffering from gunshot wounds from this incident. So at this point, we believe there were 11 victims who were shot as a result of this incident at this particular location.
That's crazy.
We heard that there is a possibility that there may be another person, making it 12, but we have not been able to confirm that at this time. Given that there are so many victims, I cannot give you specifics as to where each individual was shot. However, they were shot in various parts of the body. The most serious injuries were a person working ostensibly as a security guard who was shot in the face, and also a woman who was shot in the back. They're both listed in critical condition. Others are reported to have been shot in the legs, extremities, arms, etc., and suffering other non-life-threatening gunshot injuries. The crime scene consists of multiple spent shell casings, both on the upper floor where the restaurant bar is located, and there are also additional shell casings on a stairway that leads from the upper floor to the bottom floor. More shell casings on the parking lot below. So we're not sure if those shell casings came from a gun that was fired above, or whether the gunman or gunmen continued firing even from the lower floors. We just haven't been able to determine that yet. It's still very, very early in the investigation. Given the magnitude of this incident, there are still a lot of unanswered questions. We have cleared the building itself. We have found no additional victims inside. However, there is a lot of evidence in there, money, identifications, that sort of thing. We're now combing through any video surveillance that might be able to give us some information on what exactly happened here this morning.
Do we only care about victims when they're caught in a crossfire, not when they're living in it every day? How many more wake-up calls will we sleep through before real change happens?
I'll be more than happy to answer any additional questions if you have any.
Do we know, was this business open? How many people were inside? Was there a party for the 4th of July going on?
It's unclear. It's unclear. And also, given that this call came out around 3:53, this building should, this facility, this business should not be open that late. And upon arrival, it was shut. So we had to ensure that there were no additional victims inside. So we had to defeat the doors to get inside. We do not have any motives at this time, nor do we have any suspects in custody. We're unsure if this incident was perpetrated by one lone gunman or whether there were multiple shooters. We just don't know that at this time yet.
When officers arrived on scene at like 3:53, what did it look like? Were there people all over, or?
A lot of the people were running. Officers, obviously, their focus, their priority was getting the injured to the hospital so that they could immediately get medical help. That was their focus. And 3 alone is a significant number of victims for officers to have to deal with at 3:53 in the morning. Once we started learning that more and more people were shot, naturally we have to now deploy more officers to the hospitals, investigators to the hospitals, to get that information from these other gunshot victims. So we're piecing it together. And again, this is going to take some time given the number of victims in this incident. But it does appear, fortunately, that even the 2 individuals that are listed in critical condition look like they are going to survive. So no one has died from this shooting as of yet, and it hopefully appears that no one will.
11 people shot is the most significant shooting Philadelphia's had since the Fairmount Park shooting, which was not too long ago.
It's a lot of people. I mean, I don't keep track of the statistics. However, again, we're very thankful that these hardworking officers were able to get here on time and get these victims to the hospital as quickly as possible so that they can receive life-saving care.
All right, so this officer doesn't really got much to tell us, right? So that leads me to ask this question, right? Why do we treat, my bad, why am I reading it over? Would this story have gone viral if it weren't tied to the 4th of July? And what does that say about how we value lives? Like, if it wouldn't have happened on the 4th of July, would they have made this story go so viral? If it wouldn't have happened on the 4th of July during a strike, would they have made this story go viral? Because what's crazy is there was a shooting over here not so long ago around this bar, right? It wasn't on the news, right? There was a shooting on the other corner that wasn't on the news. I mean, there's been a mass of, there's been a series of mass shootings around HP. It's not on the news. A series of mass shootings in Juniata.
Ability every 6 months to prevent people from.
They already do that. They already check people for SSI every 6 months. They do the same thing for the welfare every 6 months. I mean, unless in certain places they're not, consistent with it. But this was already mandatory. Eligibility checks every 6 months. That was already mandatory.
Double enrolling in more than one state's Medicaid program and remove illegal immigrants or others who don't want to check for enough to be exempt from the work requirement. The bill also requires states to check for eligibility every 6 months to prevent people from double enrolling in more than one state's Medicaid program and remove illegal immigrants or others who don't qualify. It also makes changes to the Affordable Care Act that reduce federal funds to states that choose to cover immigrants who may not qualify under federal rules.
He's taken away so much from people. He's taken away food.
That's a reference to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, commonly called food stamps. As with Medicaid, the law doesn't change eligibility, but includes work requirements for able-bodied recipients and extends those work requirements from the current cutoff age of 54 to 64. It exempts pregnant women and parents with children younger than 14. It also limits eligibility to citizens and legal immigrants in most cases. And it shifts some of the costs to the states.
The tax. Whoa, that's crazy. I mean, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? You see where I'm coming from? Like, can a bill be beautiful if it leaves 12 million Americans without Medicaid or SNAP? Are we redefining physical responsibility as cutting aid to the poor while increasing the national debt? All right. So I'm going to leave that one right there in the chat. And I'm going to highlight it because I would like to hear an answer to that, man. If y'all want to give it, all right? Because I ain't forcing nobody to answer nothing, all right? My mouse want to mess with me right now.
Cases, and it shifts some of the costs to the states.
the tax cuts that they have made for folks who make an awful lot of money, those tax cuts are permanent. Those are the ones that should be temporary. Let those folks who work in a service industry that most of us would not want to, let them benefit from the tax cuts because they need them.
That's a reference to the much talked about provision reducing taxes on tips. And indeed, those are set to expire in 2028. That's also the case with two other changes. Let's look at all three. No tax on tips. Taxpayers can deduct up to $25,000 in tips on their tax returns. This starts phasing out on incomes greater than $150,000 for individuals and $300,000 for couples. There are provisions designed to prevent regular income from being reclassified as tips. No tax on overtime. Taxpayers will be able.
Dead. Carla, funny as shit. I'm gonna rewind that back, yo. Hold up. Carla says, sounds more like a big bullshit bill to me, yo, man. Shout out to Carla, man. I like when people, interact and talk and have a conversation with a shorty, man. Like, all right. So according to them, this is a big, beautiful bill, right? Carla says it's a big bullshit bill, right? I mean, I've been looking at this, John, like a little, will it benefit us? I feel as though, listen, I'm going to be very honest to y'all, all right? Me looking into this, I hear a lot of people say that it's going to help out, right? But I feel as though personally, right? So shout out to Carla, yo. I feel as though personally, this bill, right? And it's not me taking Elon Musk's side, right? But personally, this bill is going to affect a lot of our small businesses. In reality, like for some reason, it's something deep down inside of me, right? It's just saying and screaming, nah, this is not going to work out. This is like, damn, Ray, what is you going to do? Like, you got a small business, right? And it's female owned and black owned, right? So like, damn, what is you and your fiance going to do? You see where I'm coming from when all of this happens? The majority of the clothes that we get, right, come from either Canada and stuff like that. The clothes here in the U.S., I'm not going to listen. All right, I'm not bashing the U.S., but we got to step our game up. All right, we really do. And shout out to the clothes. Listen, the hoodies from Canada, the coats from Canada is, them Jones right there, boy. The texture, the feeling, everything. Like, and I like putting logos on my shit. So it's kind of like, man, we suffering, all right? We gonna suffer a lot. The taxes ain't no joke, especially when we gotta sit here and pay shipping and handling. Man, it costs us more. Right, listen, they're gonna sit here and I'm gonna sell 2 items online, right? And what's crazy is my merchandise costs more online because of the shipping and handling than what it costs out here on the streets. That's why when I come out here and I bring my brand and I bring out, I do the Sweetwoods. So I sell merchandise for Sweetwoods. I don't know if y'all know what that means. Good Times wraps for those of y'all that smoke, right? I sell merchandise for them, right? And I make me a good ass fucking profit off that shit. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I make a good ass profit in the streets, right? Than what I do selling that shit online, because guess what? In the street, I don't gotta pay for the shipping and handling. You see where I'm coming from? Even if I was to use my little what is these little thingies? Credit card chargers, whatever the fuck they're called, right? I still make a lot of profit. And I still got my money to re-up. All right, so it's crazy as it sounds. This big, beautiful bill is going to cost us, right, when it's time to buy certain merchandise, like hoodies, coats, joggers, and shit like that. It does. It's going to affect us the most because I'm not going to sit here and lie. The best hoodies I've bought are the ones that I get shipped from Canada. On some real shit. I'm not even bringing up Asia because I don't buy from China and Japan. I think I do, but I think that has more to do with like, no, I don't, because my epoxy when I make the ashtrays and all that shit, I get it from here. It's all sold here in America. But my clothing line, shit, the majority of my shit is good, man. Canada got some good ass clothing line. Like I'm like the shirts, the quality of the shirt. There you go. The quality, not the quantity. The quality of the shirts from Canada are better than the quality of the shirts here in America. Like I'm not gonna sit here and pay all this. Now we gotta pay all this money to get clothes from over there. Get the fuck out of here, man. Y'all fucking us over. All of us small businesses that deal with the clothing line, y'all fucking us over. Especially us that deal with third parties. Like, listen, man. Really? All the shit went up. It's gonna be so hard to sell online that it's not even a fucking joke. So who gains out of it? Y'all or us? More y'all than us. But people haven't realized yet that we the people got so much power in the palm of our hands, especially as women. But that's the topic for another live, right? I'll figure that one out. And I think I'm going to do it with my baby pops. All right? Do y'all know the power that you have in your hands, right? As a man or as a woman? Do you know the power that you hold in your hands? That's going to be the next live I do, and it's going to be with my baby pops, right? And I'm not going to say it's going to be right now. I got to schedule that shit. I got to talk with him. All right? So I'm going to continue to do my lives until me and him have a sit down and see how we going to do this, man. And the shorty going to be, listen, I'm going to be litty lit on some real shit, having this type of conversation with my baby pops. But shit, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun on some real shit, man. That's the man I'm going to say yes to. I already said I'm going to be his fiance. Now we just got to go in front and, sign this little piece of paper that we're already living like we together. So it's kind of like, we separate kind of in a way, but we together in a way. Never mind. Y'all, never mind. But anyways, I believe small and big businesses will be affected. They will lose lots of workers, whether they're legal or not. Facts, Carla. I like that comment. That's some real shit right there. See, taking it on a serious note, let me stop goofing around, right? Because Carla gave us a good comment. So let me stop goofing around. She gave us a serious comment. All right. She said, I believe small and big businesses will be affected. They will lose lots of workers, whether they legal or not, and that's some real shit. Listen, Americans, a lot of people here in America, right? Not to bash anybody down. A lot of us motherfuckers, right? So I'm going to include myself so people don't feel bad, all right? But I'm speaking in general. If the shoe fits, right, wear that bitch. And if it doesn't fucking apply, let it fly. I'll be dead serious when I say that shit, all right? Americans are fucking lazy. The majority of them don't want to fucking work. All right, they still want to be in their mama's couch, right, with their fucking mama's nipple, male or female, in their fucking mouth, right? And let's not talk about the men out here that have gotten lazy. They're not just in their mama's couch with their mama's nipple in their fucking mouth. Now they living off their fucking girl. They just had their baby that's off the motherfucking welfare system. All right, and I'm not here to bash anybody down. And yes, I'm being goofy in a way because all this shit is crazy, stupid. We know right from wrong. We all fucking grown. We can have conversations, but when we tell people the truth, we say, oh shit, your shit stinks. People all up in their feelings. For real, for real. Americans never shut up. Seek help. I'm dead. Whoever that is, Green Spider. I'm dead. I don't know who Green Spider is. No tax on tips. How many people do we think this will actually help? People who depend upon tips don't. Why is it looking like that? Like if this is a printer. What the fuck? Am I the only one seeing it like that? No tax on tips. How many people do we think this will actually help? People who depend upon tips don't itemize their taxes. They take the standard deduction, so they will not benefit from this. Facts, Osito Furioso. Facts. Shout out to Osito Furioso. Then you bringing my Spanish out? I had that beast locked up. Shit. I don't listen. His whole name in Spanish, Osito Furioso. I'm like, damn man, I gotta like transfer rate. I don't normally speak Spanish. Do I know? Yes. But damn, I normally speak English every day. It's like my Spanish it turns into Spanglish. But shout out to Osito Furioso, yo. Speaking some facts right there, man. I'm gonna leave that comment right there. And let's finish this little video right here. Shout out to everybody, having a conversation with a shorty. I appreciate that. That is what is needed within our communities to have these type of conversations.
on incomes greater than $150,000 for individuals and $300,000 for couples. There are provisions designed to prevent regular income from being reclassified as tips. No tax on overtime. Taxpayers will be able to deduct overtime income up to a $12,500 limit, $25,000 for couples. This also phases out for wealthier taxpayers. Trump accounts. This will be a savings program for all babies born in the United States during Trump's second term. The government will make a one-time $1,000.
Oh shit, y'all imitating the Gerber plan? No. Oh yeah, y'all imitating the Gerber plan? Now it's gonna be called what? Trump something? Oh, Trump accounts. They imitating the Gerber plan. Shout out to them.
$1,000 contribution, and families can contribute up to $5,000 a year. The money can't be used until the child turns 18. There are other adjustments to the existing tax code that will affect millions of Americans. For instance, the standard deduction is going up from $15,000 to $15,750 for singles and from $30,000 to $31,500 for couples. Those limits will automatically rise with inflation. And the child tax credit will go from $2,000 to $2,200. It also will rise with inflation. There's a lot more in this bill that we just don't have time to go through tonight, but we will continue.
We know there's a lot more to this bill that y'all cannot go through in one night. So do $1,000 Trump accounts for newborns help all families or only those who already have financial stability? Listen, see, I want to ask real questions. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit, man. I know I'm goofy and I joke around a lot, all right? But when it's time to get serious, I get serious, all right? So these are questions that I'm going to sit here and ask these legislators. I got to ask them. I need to go to the damn town hall meeting. Like, if they let me record, they let me record. If they don't, they don't. Like, but I'm going to be there. Like, shit, I missed the last two. I need to get to this next one. I need to get to it because, listen, this shit is out of pocket. Do $1,000 Trump accounts for newborns help all families or only those who already have financial stability? Is the child tax credit expansion meaningful if it's offset by cuts to healthcare and education? Woo! Is it? Why do we celebrate tax cuts more than we mourn the loss of rural hospitals? Is this bill a reflection of American values or a distortion of them? And I don't see this bill being a reflection of American values. Maybe I don't know. See, I would like to get more opinions, right? Because maybe I could be tripping, but maybe not. So for those of you watching the replay, man, leave your comments down below and let us Shorty know how you feel and what you think, man. Let's get the conversation started. I can't to my mouse. There you go. Damn, mouse want to play around with me and shit. Oh shit, I got comments down below. Let me see. The chat says, what the fuck is that? What the fuck? Listen, I don't know if to laugh or to look at this comment sideways. Like, wait a minute. Yo, what's up with y'all? Hold the fuck up. Wait a minute. I don't know who's. Soup is good food, right? He says or she says, Diddy Daddy Ding Do. Wait a minute. What the fuck? I can't even read this shit. Diddy Daddy Ding Do Nothings. Y'all, Epstein be killing himself and shit. What the fuck is wrong with people? Diddy not a part of this conversation, but thank you for the laugh though. Like, what the fuck? Get it together, mouse. I'm about to replace you with a real mouse. Let me go out there and catch a fucking rat. It might work better. Yo, everyone who's not a billionaire will feel it for sure. Shout out to Ms. V, Spider, Osito. The angry teddy bear brings facts always and forever. Stay strong, 99%, and never trust the tap. 1%, or they're bogus lackey dogs. Bogus lackey dogs. I'm like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. It's like 1K pages laugh out loud, trying to make it sound good, but uncover all the way bad. Yo, y'all ain't fucking lying, yo. These mofos be tripping, like. How does this, I have a question. How does this bill compare to previous tax forms? Let me see. It says the One Big Beautiful Bill makes permanent Manny TCJA measures that were set to expire after 2025, including lower individual tax rates and the expended standard deduction. Like TCJA, it raises the exemption now up to $15 million per individual starting 2026. TCJA introduced 100% bonus depreciation OBBB. What the fuck is y'all talking about letters? Like, wait a minute. I need my son. He gonna have to decode this shit. Y'all talking nerd, all right? And I'm a regular human being. I'm nerdy when it comes to history. All right, now, y'all not talking before Christ. What the fuck all these B's are in here for? OBBBBBBB. What the fuck? What is TCJA? Y'all over here talking about all something went in my eye. How is it going to help to cut people's Medicare? There's going to be a lot of veterans out there in need, a lot of elderly in need, a lot of children in need. Yo, these motherfuckers is tripping. Something went in my eye and it's fucking with me. You know what I hate? When my hands swell up. Not only has happened since I've had the accident, it's hard to close a fist. I'm gonna get it together. You got me fucked up. Damn, it's my middle finger. That bitch feel tight. It swelled up for some reason, and my thumb swelled up. Why my middle finger swelled up? Like, I don't even use it. Fuck you! I should. I don't know what just made me say that when I pointed it out. Like, the fuck? But that bitch, oh, like, damn. I think I'm gonna have to start pointing it out to more people. Fuck you! I keep forgetting I got kids. Shit, Ray, shit. You fucking up, Ray. You fucking up, man. Keep it together. All right. So, I don't think I've uploaded the video yet, but I will be uploading the video. All right. We have an update of the man, right, who was charged with beheading his father.
In Bucks County,
I'm gonna sit here.
And with that bill now law, what's in it for?
In Bucks.
And with that bill now law, what's in it?
Listen, all right? We just got done with the big, beautiful bill. I'm trying to get to the next video. Now, you play back the old video again about the goddamn big, beautiful bill. I'm going to smack you in your fucking Casper the Ghost looking ass. I'm going to take the white out of you and make you look pale. The fuck?
In Bucks County.
No, that wasn't a racist joke. Like, the motherfucker looked pale as shit. Look like he just saw a motherfucking ghost. Have y'all ever been like, what the fuck, so shocked that your soul went out and you have no color to your face? Yeah. I'm gonna smack the fucking color out of his fucking face. The fuck wrong with him? Kept playing the goddamn fucking video back. I don't want to listen to you. I was trying to play the next video. Fuck wrong with this? Yo, am I getting hacked? Like, I swear to God, my computer possessed. Where's the password? I need my computer to get blessed. I need an exorcism to be done to my computer. Because this bitch just want to do what the fuck it want to do. All right? I came at the news reporter when I should be coming at fucking Google. The fuck? My computer feels like it's possessed. I shouldn't have clicked on this video and that video when I sit here and glitch like 3 times and play itself. What's up with you? Shit. I need a priest in this bitch. Where double speak at? I need the pastor. Pastor, where you at? Ven y ayúdame, por favor. Tengo el demonio en mi computadora. Ayuda, socorro, auxilio, socorro. Fuck possessed ass computer, man. All right. We're about to get into the next video, all right? And a man was charged with beheading father. Says he was hoping to perform a citizen's arrest. All right. This video is wild out. I don't know what really happened between the man and the father. All right, I got to dive into it. Like I told y'all, I was really focused on the strike. I did do a little review and reaction to this, but never again will I do that while I am talking shit, right? When it comes to the strike and the shit that is happening, you know, within Philadelphia. All right, because I put my foot in my mouth a few times. So, listen, can citizens' arrest ever be used to rationalize violence, or is that a dangerous misuse of civic power? What's crazy is, as a citizen, you can do a citizen's arrest, especially if you're on the phone with 911. You know, you're telling the officer you caught this person, you detained him, and whether you tie him up with rope to a chair, right, just to keep him there, you are allowed to do that. I mean, if you don't know your laws, your rights, I suggest you look them up, right? Depending on what your city is, your state is, right? How the laws go, I don't know. But I do know that you are allowed, right, in this city over here that I'm in, to do a citizen's arrest. Does invoking patriotism in a murder trial reveal a deeper crisis in how we define loyalty and dissent? Dissent, my bad. At what point does political obsession become a public safety threat, and who's responsible for intervening? Intervening, my bad. Got the word out. Ray, you need to hit the dictionary again. Do you need to learn how to pronounce these words? I think you do. Yeah, I do. We'll get to it later, all right? So let's get to it. Is society equipped to recognize when online rhetoric turns into real-world violence? And I don't think it is. Because I mean, listen, I'm not the only one saying it, and I know there's a lot of people out there saying it. Holly Weird hasn't just poured out into our streets, all right? Guess what else? Social media. What the things people do on social media is pouring out into our streets, and it's hitting the kids first, all right? Like, as crazy as it sounds, yes. For some reason, like when I started seeing all this drama and bullshit on social media, right? I never thought that I would see it out here, right? Before I hit these social media platforms, right? I used to look at the elders with we got Jug FXL promoters in the building, guys. Yo, big shout out to him, man. Thank you for the support. Before we got on here, man, I used to look at the elders with so much respect. But never in my life did I think that I would lose respect for elderly people like I have done on this air. It was crazy that, within this past year, I'm starting to see that what is happening within social media is happening out here. I'm sitting here, I'm like, no, there's no way. First throughout the pandemic and now, like, what is going on? It's like, people forget that caskets exist. You understand? And they exist for a reason. Don't be the one to land on one. I think there's a point in time as adults where we need to grow up. We can't keep telling these kids, right, that they have to behave a certain way when as adults, we can't even figure it out ourselves. So I want y'all to listen to this, right? Man charged with beheading father says he was hoping to perform a citizen's arrest.
charged with fatally shooting and beheading his father in Doylestown testified in court yesterday. In Bucks County, the Pennsylvania man charged with fatally shooting and beheading his father in Doylestown testified in court yesterday. 33-year-old Justin Moan says the killing was, quote, Plan B, after trying to perform a citizen's arrest on his father for what he called false statements and treason. Prosecutors say he shot his father, a semi-retired federal worker named Michael, then decapitated him in January last year. Moan was arrested after posting a nearly 15-minute video of himself holding up his father's head. The video also included rants about the government.
You know, his mother had to testify that she found her.
Yo, dude was in his head. Dude was going through some type of psychosis moment, man. Not trying to be funny, but you have to. Like, listen, man, you gotta find the humor sometimes, because all the shit that we're going through is kind of like, dude, we can't bring ourselves down. We cannot bring ourselves down. You see where I'm coming from? Like, it's crazy how I remember this, right? That's why I'm saying I gotta upload all these videos. Like, and I did an update on this, but I fucked up on the update. So, whew. How has the language of civic duty, like citizens' arrest, been weaponized by extremists? Does viral violence reshape how we understand activism, or just distort it, beyond recognition, right? And I don't think a lot of people understand what a real citizen's arrest is, how to even go about it. You know what's crazy, right? Instead of our cities paying, right? And this is me giving my honest opinion, right? This is just a thought, right? Where we were supposed. Yep, it ain't even the afternoon. We're having, we're in a Shorty's mind this morning, right? And this is just my opinion, right? Instead of the government spending all this money on like celebrations, like the 4th of July and all that, why not teach its citizens, right, how to get ready, right? To, like, for example, like if the grid was to go down, how to prepare themselves, right, for certain situations, right? Like, listen, I don't know how to go about it. It's too long, right? I don't want to cut into this, but we need to start preparing our citizens to learn how to survive, right? And if the city doesn't teach it, then as communities, we need to start teaching our kids and ourselves. Maybe I'm saying something wrong, but this is just a thought. With all this shit happening, right? We got a man that last year held his father's head for 15 minutes on social media, and people thought it was probably cool. Do y'all see what people want? That's some underground type shit. That's some shit like that you would see like in the movie The Dark Web. And I don't know how many of y'all seen that movie called The Dark Web. That's some type of shit that you'll see there. But the bull, right? He was ranting about the government. So in his, listen, there's so much shit. Why was he schizophrenic like that? Maybe he could have had schizophrenia. He could have probably had some mental issues. Or, he could have been a conspiracy theorist that went, overboard. There's so many things that we could say about this. We don't know, right? So my question leads back to this one again. Is society equipped to recognize when online rhetoric turns into real world violence? Are we letting, right, what we're seeing on social media platforms spill out into our homes, into our streets? And I think, in my opinion, we are. Too many people following what the celebrities are doing, trying to be like the celebrities, trying to imitate what these streamers do. Not realizing that everybody has a place in this world. Everybody has a purpose in this world. Everybody fights their own demons, right? In the same hell, just in different ways. We need to get our shit together. But this case right here is crazy. And this is why we need to bring these programs back. Taking away mental health resources, taking away Medicaid isn't going to help anybody, isn't going to benefit nobody. We got the world crazies out here while the sane are locked up behind bars in the mental institutions. When is we going to wake up? How many bodies are we going to lose? How many people are we going to put in caskets before we wake up?
The decapitated body in their bathroom. You know, can you imagine? I mean, never get over that. In Delaware County, multiple people were rescued after those heavy rains last night. Man, the lightning was severe, the loud thunder.
Somebody, hold on, wait a minute. We're talking about the taxes again? Hold on. Oh, shout out to the real. Facts. I'm with you. Listen, I gotta be funny on this, all right? I'm not just gonna be serious this whole time. Y'all more than y'all more than welcome to be funny down in the chat. Of course. Listen, I understand the reality. We've already laid that down. So I'm gonna be fucking goofy and I'm gonna speak the facts while I'm at it. All right? I'm not gonna be serious, coming at everybody like, who the fuck is you? Why the fuck you left that comment? No, man. Like, share it. Yeah, I talk to myself. You fucking right, I do. What the what? So don't go on unemployment. Wait, we're back to the taxes? All right, I'm going to get back to these comments in 1 second. 1 second, all right? Let me finish this video because I'm talking about something completely different and y'all on the taxes still. Give me 1 second, all right? I'll be back to the chat. All right, so we talking about this man, right, being charged, beheading father says he was hoping to perform citizen's arrest, right? I'll get back to that real quick, right? Because what I was saying goes to the community centers and stuff like that. See, people, what I say goes over certain people's heads. So I'll be back to that real quick. I'm so sorry.
High winds, but the water rose quickly.
It did. So Cheyenne is live in Ridley Township. I mean, there had to be rescues.
Hi, Mike and Alex. Yeah, and that thunder woke me up. I was trying to get some sleep before I had to.
Wait, what are you talking about? The thunder? Are you done talking about the decapitated man? What the fuck? So this is not an update. I don't want a video like this. All right. I'm going to delete that, John. We are listening. At least I am. But yeah, I was serious about them questions, right? What happens when political ideology fractures a family? Is reconciliation ever possible after such horror? And what's crazy is this is not the whole video. So I'm going to have to look for the whole video, right? And I asked that question because this man sat here. He decapitated his father's head. You see where I'm coming from? Like, my question is, will the family find this man some type of help? You see where I'm coming from? Will the family find this person some type of help? Because he needs it. He needs to be in some type of mental health institution. Like, do they have the the money to put him there? Do they have the the help? You see where I'm coming from? The support? I really don't know. But it seems like this person is either mentally unstable or is a conspiracy theorist, beyond a conspiracy theorist. Like, I don't even know how to put it to words, right? Like, this dude sat here and put his dad's head. He showed it to the fucking viewers. 15 minutes. There were mofos watching this shit. And it's this type of shit that people like to watch. I don't know why. Why it is that drama and violence draws a lot of people's attention. I'm not going to sit here and lie. It really does. This type of shit draws a lot of people's attention when it happens, when it goes live. Would this story have sparked the same outrage if it hadn't been posted on YouTube? Like, if this story would have been posted on, like, Facebook, or if it would have been posted on, like, a Snapchat or something like that, or a flip, would it, have caused so much outrage as it had? Because this happened last year. This incident happened last year. Let me get this video out the way because They're gonna sit here and start talking about the weather when we was just talking about the decapitated man. Like, what's up with them, yo? Like, they just fucked my whole video up. But let's get back over here, right? Mountain bike addict. What the fuck? Let me see. So don't go unemployment. Unemployment is only meant for 6 months. I agree with that. And you can't get it every year. That's some real shit. Just work more. Shout out to the Real 716 guys. Make sure y'all go check out the Real 716, man. You know, listen, great conversations, great topics. And if you are into celebrity gossip, he is the man to go to too. All right. Mountain Bike says that is your responsibility. I'm not sure what he's talking about, my responsibility, but you know, that's called personal responsibility. You can't rely on the government to teach you everything about life. No, you can't. But there are a lot of families out here, a lot of kids out here that don't have the right or proper support. And that's where these little community centers and rec centers and stuff like that come in. So, I mean, listen, if you want to be negative, you could be negative. If you want to sit here and say and make excuses on why we can't make a change or a difference within our communities, then go ahead. See, that's the issue that we're having. This public information, I don't want my tax money to teach people what's already publicly available in libraries. See, you took it a little different. I said, why don't governments take the time, right? Instead of celebrating and doing all this shit, right? Take the time to teach those, all right? Let me put it like this. Let me rephrase what I said. Because, see, I keep forgetting, right? They got short videos for a reason, and they got long videos for a reason, right? Some people are, how can I say it? They can only comprehend for a little bit of time. They can only stay focused for a little bit of time, right? Then they got the videos for the long people that, can comprehend, can stay focused, can stay in a chair without no ADHD. All right? So let me rephrase it like this. Why don't the government put more funds to help these people out here that don't know nothing, that don't have resources to learn, right? And I know we got some free shit out here, but everything isn't really free, right? So we know we got some free shit out here. Why don't they put more funds into these programs, right? So people can have more information out there, real information, instead of having misinformation, all right? Just because of what I said offended you, listen, it's not my fault. I can't do nothing about that. Like I said, it was my opinion. And I appreciate your opinion. It's too much going on. Mental instability is nationwide, and that's a fact. Mental instability is something that we're suffering from a lot. And I feel as though in this case, right, the case that I was just showing you with the bull, right, that's being charged for decapitating his father's head last year, right, is a case of either that or a conspiracy theorist going overboard. For real.
Yeah, that's it.
So, like I told y'all, right, I asked y'all a question earlier. Why do we, make mass shootings, right? Why do we isolate mass shootings, right? Why don't we talk about the shootings that happen all over, every city in different states and stuff like that? We seem to have a problem with it. It's like we isolate mass shootings, right, to fit certain narratives. We have a case here, right, in Philadelphia, a gunman accused of shooting Philly police sentenced to over a century behind bars. I'm going to play this video. And while we play the video, I'm going to ask some questions, all right? Here we go.
Sentence is effectively a life sentence for Maurice Hill, more than a century behind bars. This is where it all played out in 2019. A judge said that Hill fired more than 100 shots, hitting 6 officers and putting this entire neighborhood on edge.
It was a shocking day, just hearing gunshots.
James White among the many in the Nicetown Tioga section of North Philadelphia who will never forget what happened here in August of 2019.
Police officers laying on the ground, weapons or something pointed that way.
A terrifying scene, James told us, that put the daycare he works at on lockdown. After an 8-hour standoff, police took Maurice Hill into custody. 6 years later, Hill learned he will spend the rest of his life in prison.
6 years later, the boy learned he was going to, live the rest of his life in prison. Does a century-long sentence bring true closure or just symbolic justice? Can a community ever fully heal when the trauma was broadcast live and replayed for years? And I feel as though they can. I mean, you have to bring solutions to the table. You have to you have to talk, right? Find solutions. And that's what I be trying to tell people. Like, instead of making excuses of why this won't work or why can't this happen, bring a solution to the table and see if it will work or not. How do we balance empathy for mental health with accountability for public harm? Should the motive, fear, confusion, or delusion matter when the outcome is mass violence, right? And that's why I say, why do we isolate mass shootings, right? Because when it comes to the gun violence, it has not really lowered. If anything, it has risen throughout the years.
After a judge handed down a sentence of 120 to 240 years. Among those who spoke in court were some of the 6 Philadelphia police officers he shot, sharing how the trauma affects them and their families every day, with lasting physical and emotional impacts. One officer stated that the shooting changed his life forever. Hill's family members also spoke in court, and so did Hill himself. Apologizing to the officers, he said he didn't know they were officers when he fired. He previously testified that he acted in self-defense, shooting because he thought someone was breaking in. Though prosecutors argued Hill shot the officers as they tried securing the home where he lived while they waited for a warrant. Reacting to the sentence, Philadelphia Fraternal Order of Police president shared a statement saying in part they are thankful to the court, adding, "Make no mistake, our police officers ran toward danger back in 2019 to arrest a violent felon. We owe all of these heroes a debt of gratitude as they continue to serve our great city with honor, respect, and professionalism." District Attorney Larry Krasner also shared a statement saying the sentencing concludes one of the worst moments in the history of Philadelphia criminal justice. He said his team is grateful that justice was served and that there was no loss of life. In North Philadelphia, I'm Siobhan.
That's some real shit, yo. Are we asking too much of officers when we expect them to walk into gunfire, or is that the job? And I feel as though, right, shout out to the real officers out there, right? And I'm going to say it just like that. I don't give a fuck who gets offended. Shout out to those real officers that put their life on the line every day just to help the citizens, whether it's in Philadelphia or anywhere else. But we do got a lot of corrupt officers out here, all right? Me, I don't stay shut to them, especially the officers that come to our communities, right, that are not from our communities and want to stir up trouble. Because it does happen. But shout out to those real officers, right? They put their lives on the lines every single day. What does this case reveal about the risks narcotic officers face, and how should policy evolve? Would this case have faded from public view if no officers had been injured? And what does that say about whose pain we prioritize? How does media coverage shape our understanding of heroism, villainy, and everything in between? Because what's crazy is there's a whole lot of heroes out here that are untalked about. You see where I'm coming from? So many stories untold. But we stay focused on one. Is it about who we like? Is it about who we hate? You see where I'm coming from? Or is it about the trend that's going on, that's happening at the moment? Let me see.
They don't talk about us, only when there's a crime. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that in this world, with or without money, we're all rich, even the poor? The problem is those that say that I'm reaching out to give a hand and stay their leeching hands is itching, ready to see you missing. Well, I think I went to write. Something inside me told me I can freestyle or I can rap. I can go with a rhythm that can make you dance. Tell you what I see on a daily, tell you everything's okay just to avoid dilemma. Or I can simply bring you something positive to the table and warn you of the ongoing problems that we're having. Instead, I have to reach out to my conscience once again as I watch the crime and the violence rise and the kids lose their innocence. Now the concept of forming a home day by day loses its essence. They don't want to hear that. I can't keep my arms crossed in front of the system. If I don't do something, I'm also part of the problem. As guilty as the one that pulls the trigger, like the person in the crowd that hits the record button on their phone to expose a lie instead of the truth for clout. They need 1,000 views. The government doesn't have a solution. The problem started when we took God out the equation. The problem ain't us celebrating. The problem is that we're a nation divided when we should be a nation united and praying. That's how we live today. When problems occur, we come up with a meaning. Laugh a little, move on with no care in the world, as if it ain't even a thing in this world. If it's like this today, I don't want to see the future. Because nowadays, they'll make a meme out of a person that can't even see the day of light no more. What makes you think they care? They can't even break bread at the table. I don't know how you want to be rappers and lyricists can go on with life, living on an illusion with nothing good to write. Talking about killing someone, selling drugs with pride, until the scripts are flipped and it's someone you love dies. Right? This ain't solved by activating the National Guards and going behind bars. This is deep. This is me and you. And they say as time pass by, we'll heal everything. Shit, you know these scars? I seen time flash by and never felt everything. Leaving me on standby, ready to kill everything. Alone in the mirror, looking at myself, say, girl, you're everything. You don't need for anything, shorty. So unless you walk a mile in my shoes, don't say anything. Just take a minute and listen so you can consume everything. Me and you are not the same, so make sure you look both ways when you cross me, and that's on everything.
That's some real shit. Salute to the real ones and sincere officers, yo. That's some real shit, yo. But before we get into this next video, right, and we've been talking about the gun violence, right, and I appreciate all those that have been leaving their comments down below, right. This wasn't just about, you see where I'm coming from, the big beautiful bill. This live wasn't just about the strike. This live was way more than just the big beautiful bill and the strike. We're talking about things that are happening. You see where I'm coming from? Currently happening, and what we can do about it. What solutions can we bring to the table? See, I'm not going to ask no fucking stupid questions. I'm going to ask questions that are going to get us to the root of the fucking problem. You see where I'm coming from? It's like asking somebody, oh, well, why did the shooting occur? No. Why are these shootings still occurring? Should be the question. What was the reason that this child got shot? Why are these shootings still occurring is my question. Because we can get to the reason of why it happened. The majority of the reason why these shootings are happening are petty as shit. So, when it comes to community and trauma and healing, can a single town hall begin to heal a neighborhood shattered by 140 bullets, or is that just symbolic comfort? What does community resilience really mean when people are afraid to walk to a meeting without ducking bullets? How did automatic weapons become easier to access than mental health support in Philly or in any other city around you? Should gun manufacturers be held accountable when switches turn handguns into weapons of war? I mean, should the person that gets arrested with that turned the handgun into a switch be only held accountable, or should the manufacturers of these guns be held accountable? Right, and I'm not just asking questions, right, that I'm thinking of. I'm asking questions that other people are asking, right? And I would love to hear y'all opinions, y'all comments on this. So if y'all can, for those of you catching the replay, that they're going to catch the replay, leave your comments down below, right? And let's get the discussion started. For those of you in the chat, man, leave your comments in the chat. Let us Shorty know what you think and how you feel, right? Is it just on the manufacturers? Should the city be held accountable? Should the kids be held accountable, or all of the above? If police have video of the shooters, why haven't arrests been made. And what does that silence say to grieving families? Are community meetings a genuine effort to listen or a performance of empathy without action? And that's why I'm saying, man, we just can't talk. We got to also talk and walk. And it's not my fault if some people cannot talk, walk, and eat at the same time.
Shootout in South Philadelphia neighborhood there where 3 people were killed, several others injured. Well, neighbors dodging over 140 bullets. And tonight, those neighbors and more came together before police pushing for change. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Jason Martinez.
I'm Sheba Russell. They are saddened and horrified by the violence and in no mood to stay quiet. Police are still working to identify the 3 shooters captured on Ring doorbell video early Monday morning. 3 people were killed, 10 others injured. A $20,000 reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest and conviction. Our Steve Keeley was there for tonight's community meeting. Steve.
Look, homicide at headquarters here is working around the clock trying to solve this case. But one thing that's frustrating for investigators and for police in general is they went out to the community tonight. You had police leaders, city leaders, community leaders, but also worried citizens. And one of the first questions the officers got was, hey, you've got this video. Why don't you have the shooters and killers yet? And the police had to kind of calmly explain to them, hey, look, in reality, life is a whole lot different than a 1-hour episode of Law and Order.
Hate so strong that we're willing to take a life. And looking at that video, really, we should be ashamed of ourselves.
As she feels shame, no one coming to a 6 p.m. community meeting with police should have to.
Listen, you see the little bit of people that are there. Those of y'all that have been following me for a while, y'all see when I go live in the community meetings, any meeting, any event that we have here in Philadelphia. And I know y'all notice, as y'all can see, it's only a few people that attend these meetings. And that's why I say, I mean, listen, maybe I'm wrong for saying this. Maybe I'm not. I feel as though I'm not. If you don't attend these meetings, right, and come and try to put at least solutions to the table, don't fucking complain. Because there are people out here really trying to bring solutions to the table, really trying their best to make a change in the difference. But y'all motherfuckers out here got such a big ass mouth, but yet y'all can't come over here and y'all don't confront the commissioners. Y'all don't confront the fucking governor. Y'all don't confront the motherfucking mayor. No, y'all want to fucking riot. Y'all will destroy your fucking city before y'all fucking try to bring a solution to the table. Talking about they're going to kill us. But y'all out here with fucking strings attached to your fucking backs, waiting for your fucking master's next command. And when he gives y'all the command, y'all be master. Okay, master. When, master? When? That's some fucked up shit. Our ancestors, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all of them that became martyrs are rolling in fucking circles in their grave, looking at us. They gave us a blueprint. And what the fuck are we doing with it? Nothing. But complain and make excuses about what we can't or won't do. Even when the fucking options are there. Even when the motherfucking doors are open. Motherfuckers will make an excuse of why the fuck they can't go through it. Get the fuck out my face with y'all bullshit. I don't think manufacturers be accountable for... Wait. I don't think manufacturers should be accountable for grown people actions unless they sell to a minor. Facts. She's thinking. See, Carla is using her head to think. She's using her noggin. Something some people don't do. That's why we have these open panels. Right? I want to get y'all perspectives. I want to get your opinion. We're not here to bash. Yes, we could have some fun in the process. We could joke around. We could goof around. But let's be real. Anyone thinking the BBB is going to hurt lower income, newsflash, they don't pay federal taxes. This doesn't affect lower earners. All right, so Pinky Hot Mass X69 is saying that it doesn't hurt. How can I say it? Smaller business owners. So I'm not sure. See, I don't fully understand it. So as you can see, I'm listening, right? And I'm also getting, giving my own perspective, right? And I am open, right, to listen to more opinions, more perspectives, right? You could see it differently, right? From what I see it. You could be right. I could be right. I could be wrong. You could be wrong. Right now, listen, I personally don't know. And I said that in the beginning. So that's why I'm asking y'all, what do y'all think about the big, beautiful bill? See, to me, I'm looking at it side eye. You see where I'm coming from? It's too much to it, right? Plus, it's 1,000. It's a long. There's so many pages to this shit. But I do appreciate that, right? But can I ask you a question? Why do you think it won't affect smaller businesses? Can I get your opinion, your perspective on that? Why do you say it won't affect? All right, because I've heard a lot of people say, give me their perspective on why they think it will affect it. Can I get your perspective on why it won't affect the small businesses? I'm sorry, I'm trying to, if she answers, I'll continue the conversation before I press play on this video. But if not, I'm going to have to press play, and then I'll answer her when I'm done with the video. Oh, okay, here we go. We got trolls in the building. I guess the trolls don't just be under bridges. They surfaced. It's time to flood them. Throw them back. Then flood that shit. Leave them under the bridge, collecting the toll. Motherfucker, this is America! Trolls out here trying to collect fares. Motherfuckers. I can't. Yo, you got motherfuckers out here trying to collect fees. This is America, land of the free, where you gotta pay for water, even the air you breathe. Shit, I don't know what's up with some of y'all, man. But back on topic, yo. Wait. Carla said something. I'm dead. I can't with some people, yo. Carla said, I'm glad I stopped by today for a real commentary. Yeah, facts. I be telling people, man, just come through. Like, I really want to get y'all opinions. Listen, as a leader of my community, right? I want to hear y'all. Like, even if y'all not from Philly, I want to get different perspectives, right? And if y'all got something good, tell me, man. I'm gonna write that shit down, even if it's an opinion, because at the end of the day, I can get people to listen to. I can be professional the same way I could be goofy, and the same way I could be hood on some real shit. Like I tell people. And when it comes to YouTube, I try to combine all three of them. I have to, because people on this drum be taking shit too fucking serious. Let's bring awareness, all right? And let's live, love, and laugh. Let's not make fucking social media our real lives, all right? Because I got a real life, and I love my real life. I ain't trying to sit here and pretend, all right? Because the Barbie world for me existed when I was 6. After 6, I started painting red on their fucking faces and running them over with my damn brother's Hot Wheel cars. Pretending that their heads would fall off like in the movies and shit. All right? Then, with his little spider toys and shit like that, I used to pretend that, he had Hawk and all of them. Like, man, listen, in the little spider toys, from the movies, them giant spiders, the monsters, the blobs. Man, I used to pretend the Barbies used to get eaten by them. Like, I grew that fucking... Let's pretend. Let's play house shit. I grew that shit when I was like 6 years old. Like, get the fuck out of my face with that shit. We adults right now, yo. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. Let's have conversations that fucking matter. But motherfuckers want to come online and bash people. I'm better than you. I'm better. No, motherfucker. I may not be better than you, but guess what? I can do better than you. You see that? I may not be better than you, but I could do better than you. That's because I make better decisions than what the fuck you make. Because what I hear from certain people online is excuse after excuse after excuse after fucking excuse. And I'm tired of fucking excuses. On some real shit, man. Like, I feel like I should be getting in my Judge Joe Brown bag sometimes, yo. Like, where Judge Joe Brown? I need to have another sit down with Judge Joe Brown, man. Like, listen, I love when KB and Judge Joe Brown get together. Boy, they be killing it. And I don't think I have it on here. Ain't that some shit? The Brown Boys. Nope, I don't have it. That's crazy. Oh, wait.
Wants to star in the court, now seeking peace. But the world only sees fame, not the man beneath. Kwame Brown just wants a normal life, yet his fast falls causing strife. Media scrutiny, public eyes, never let him escape the ties. Yearning for understanding and empathy, but all they see is a celebrity. A man with dreams beyond the spotlight's glare, just hoping for some compassion to share. Kwame Brown seeks to break free from his past, to be seen as a person at last. Judge Joe Brown, he's not a joke. In the courtroom, he lays down the law with a poke.
Yep, that's Joe Brown. He ain't no joke.
Wearing his robe, he's a sight to see. 10 toes down, he's as tough as can be. No holding back, he'll tell you straight. Don't mess with him, or it'll be your fate. He's not afraid to speak his mind, challenging those above. He's one of a kind. So watch out when Judge Joe Brown's in town. He's not playing games, he'll shut you down. Two brothers on the panel, so wise and so bright. One full of questions, the other with insight. The elder with wisdom, fighting the system with might. Brown boys bringing awareness, shining so bright. Knowledge and the answers they share with such grace. Tackling the issues in this crazy rat race. Their words are like music, a sweet embrace. So let's listen closely to what they have to say, for their words are like gold, shining bright as day. The Brown boys are here to show us the way. Let's follow their lead and make the world okay. So here's to the brothers so great and so true. Thank you for all that you do. We appreciate you. Keep spreading your message like morning dew. The world needs more like you, that much is true. Judge Joe Brown speaking truth. Kamala Harris under the roof. No president for us, that's the real booth. Raw and uncut, hear him speak. Keeping it real, no critique. For we the people, a leader they seek. Shorty has no power, truth we must speak. Ready to hear Judge Joe Brown take about Kamala Harris, no mistake. Unveiling the lies for our sake. No president yet, for our nation's sake.
I said that in there, and I didn't even take the time to realize. I said no president yet for our nation's sake. But imagine a government with no leadership. Can the world actually survive? Because half these motherfuckers got strings attached to their backs, and if they don't hear a master's command, I don't think they can survive. Imagine a world with no government. That'll be crazy. No rules, no nothing. Man, we be out here living like savages. I had to really listen to that. I was like, damn, Ray, a world with no government? Man, you was tripping when you said that. But shit, fucking Judge Joe Brown had Kamala Harris under the motherfucking roof. He had her in a fucking chokehold. Like, bitch, you listen. He turned into motherfucking Ric Flair and gave her the fucking figure 4. He said, bitch, you ain't moving. I'm going to fucking spill this tea on you. The world going to know who the fuck you is. You know, shout out to Judge Joe Brown. Listen, I be telling you, man, sometimes I just want to get in my bag like that. I just call it the Judge Joe Brown bag, like, and just say whatever it is that comes out. But you know what? You can't, Ray. You can't. The world can't handle it. The world can't handle it. That's why he be under fire. He be getting in trouble so much. You cannot go back to the OU. The OU has been put away in a cage, locked up under key. Remember, you said you was going to be a good girl. All right. And since after, we can't play music after the 15, man. Y'all got me fucked up. I got to play my Days Low before we continue, man. Just after the 3-hour mark, I'm ending this job. But I got to play some Days Low before we finish this, man. Let me finish this video. Let's finish this video. Sometimes, listen, I get tired of being a good girl, and I just want to be bad.
feel this.
I caught the bus here and I was worried about which streets I'm going to walk down and, do I have to duck bullets?
Well, she and millions more saw this video of the mass shooting in Grays Ferry Monday of somebody ducking bullets on 2 porches and 3 shooters firing over them all.
My first thought was, how does our young people have access to such weapons?
What was your thought when you looked at that video, like everybody else, that Ring video from your neighbor's house?
I was horrified. I mean, everybody running in all directions and everything, and the young ones scrambling for safety and for cover. I was horrified.
Well, what was your thought when you saw the video? I'm sure you lived through it.
Very sad for the parents, for everybody, the community, everybody.
Philadelphia police held one of their regular community meetings here, but this one, close in both time and place to the mass shooting, had so many more attending and so many more passionate.
There's no excuse. You know your son toting a gun, you better grab a hold on him or you're going to be buried.
What made you want to come
It's some real shit.
of maybe being shot just walking over here?
This is my community. It's my community, and we're all community leaders. We're out here trying to make a difference.
So it's all about us working together and not fighting one another.
It's an epidemic, and we have to do something about it. We have to do something about it.
What can we
That's some real shit. In HP, we struggle. In Philly, we struggle. We fight for our lives, but shit. We in certain places we are a community, man. And yes, man, land of the free, but ain't a damn thing free. That's why I say, welcome to America, land of the free, where you gotta pay for water, even the air you breathe. On some real shit. Welcome to America, land of the free, where you gotta pay for water, even the air you breathe. And it was crazy, is right. It's gotten to the point, looking at my community, man, one day my heart was crying. This is America, land of the free, where you gotta pay for water, even the air you breathe. Y'all screaming Black Lives Matter, turn around and watch our kids die and cry and ask why. They gotta fly high. Now we gotta be strong enough to storm the weather. Y'all weak, y'all fold under pressure. Now y'all went and lost your treasure. Oh my, look at the oppressor, dressed as a professor, calls himself a hitman, missed his target and got banned. Now he's tomorrow's trend, all for a brand. Don't act surprised. Y'all can stand. Y'all knew the plan. Y'all know that friend with that itchy hand, ready to see you go missing? Damn, what a scam. The whole time they was listening. They was just a part of the plan. Got us on a mission, on go mode, and ready to rant. That's how they be having us. Whether it's social media or people that are bought within the streets, right? And what I mean by that, motherfuckers that just don't give a fuck. They just want to see you fall. All right. Like, you gotta be careful, because motherfuckers will put a battery pack on you, trying to make you pick a side.
There's no excuse. You know your son toting a gun, you better grab a hold on him or you're going to be buried.
What made you want to come despite your fears of maybe being shot just walking over here?
This is my community. It's my community, and we're all community leaders. We're out here trying to make a difference.
So it's all about us working together and not fighting one another.
It's an epidemic, and we have to do something about it. We have to do something about it.
What can we come up? What kind of solutions? What can we?
And what's crazy is, right, they have these meetings, but you have a certain amount of time to talk, right? This is why I love coming on social media, because when you go there, each person has an amount of time, whether it's 5, 10, 15 minutes. On here, I can come online and I can talk for hours. And the same thing, right, that I had to cut short for 15 minutes, I can get it out my chest and onto the mic. On these community meetings, I have a certain amount of time to put my words together and say what I got to say. Whether it's screaming or shouting, crying and talking, but one way or another, you got that certain amount. And I do know that it runs between 5 to 15 is the most, I think it is, that you have to talk, and then the next person goes. So it's like, that's why I love coming online. Because online, I can get way more out of my chest than when I can in a community meeting. So I'm not just, boots on the ground. I'm bringing what I'm doing out here on these streets to social media.
We do. We join together. What can we do?
And strong community leaders do not want to leave their community and do not fear this community can't overcome this somehow.
No, because I have a lot of confidence in my community.
Oh, I like that. Who said that? Racheal? Racheal? I like that comment. Shout out to him. He said, good people will endure, dictatorship won't last. I like that. I might come up with a poem. That is a great title for either a poem or a lyrical poem. I like that. I mean, listen, as soon as I read that, a few thoughts came to my head, but I had to look at the screen and not the phone to see who wrote that comment. I like that. That's some real shit, though.
Well, look, that small little room was packed with police, people, and as you heard, passion, right? Back here at headquarters, it's not just the homicide detective team that's trying to solve this, along with the shooting investigation group. You've also got the ballistics team, because they're trying to figure out how many guns total fired those 140 plus shots. Meantime, the 9 wounded are hoping to heal, and so is that entire community. Sheba, Jason.
Well, God bless those people who will not give up on this city and will not give up on our youth in our area. All right. Thank you very much, Steve Keeley.
Yeah, shout out to Steve Keeley, right? And I get where he's coming from and what he's saying, but what do you say to a generation that's grown up dodging bullets instead of chasing dreams? Is it fair to ask young people to trust a system that's failed to protect them again and again? When neighbors say snitching went out a long time ago, are they protecting each other or protecting fear? Is calling this an epidemic enough, or does that language numb us to the urgency of change? And I think that's why, like I said, what Racheal put up there, good people will endure, dictatorship won't last. That's some real shit. Jay Lofter said, ghetto being ghetto. What the fuck? I guess. I'm not sure what he's trying to say.
Philadelphia's largest city workers union back on the job and will soon vote on a tentative agreement with city leaders. Until then, temporary trash sites are being cleared, with Monday being the first time regular trash pickup will happen in nearly 2 weeks. And the garbage certainly piled up fast over the last couple of weeks. Here's a side-by-side of the designated trash drop-off sites and how it looked 3 days ago versus now. Looking better. This is Wyalusing Avenue in West Philly. Trash as far as the eye could see. There are lines of bags stretching down the block and a smell I don't even want to try to describe. But as you see now, things are already starting to clear up. District Council 33 President Greg Boulware says the final vote on the new contract will happen in person at their union hall, potentially as early as Monday. And there's still a chance workers could go back on strike if they don't ratify it. Boulware has expressed dissatisfaction with the agreement. He says now it's up to the union members to decide.
The Democratic.
That is, I think that's the stupidest thing. Like, if y'all agreed to a deal, like if y'all came up to an agreement, right, and shook hands, right, signed paperwork, then that's the agreement. But, they're saying it's up to the union workers. But I've heard union workers say that, this is why it's confusing. There's so many people complaining about what Greg did now. This is crazy right here, man. What do y'all think about what's going on with the Philly strike, right? Listen, let me get back to this. No, I was going to end the live, but you know what? I still got some time. Let's do this real quick. Let me go to the Philly playlist.
Dad, I'm Bud.
Let's count the smiles.
And let's see what they're talking about at the table. One checking. Let's see what they're talking about at the table. See, I was going to play it later on, but I just changed my mind.
We're on top of this breaking news of a tentative deal between union workers and the city of Philadelphia that could end the strike that's been going on now for more than a week.
And I'm Lauren Make, and here in Philadelphia.
All right. Let's go to the premium channel real quick.
I'm Lauren Make.
Come on, don't be freezing up on me. Give me 1 second, guys. Just setting it up. All right. While I set it up, give me 1 second while I set it up. Man, let me see. What do I put on? Here we go. In a family of tradition, I stand out like... Oh, that's not it. Here we go.
In the old days, love was pure and true. Now it's just a show for all to view. People use it for their own gain, leaving hearts in sorrow. And way up the ladder is your way down. Trust me. In a world of empty stares, fake love fills the air. Sincerity's distant glare, leaving hearts in deep despair. Truth is lost in a web of lies, hiding behind deceitful eyes. Love that fades and slowly dies, leaving us with heavy sighs. Aching souls in a loveless land, yearning for a genuine hand, but fake love rules with cruel demand, leaving us to understand. In this age of like and retweets, we've forgotten what real love truly means. It's not just about show and tell, but a feeling that makes our hearts swell. It's hard to know who's true and who's fake in a world where appearances are hard to shake. But real love is deeper than a profile pic. It's in the way that someone makes your soul click. So let's not get lost in the digital haze. Let's remember what real love truly conveys. It's not about followers or online fame, but a connection that sets our hearts aflame. In this world of make-believe, they all wear a smile. But behind the scenes, it's just the clever guys, puppets in their show, dancing in their stage. We're all just pieces of their charade. Beneath their mask of joy lies the tangled web, where secrets and deceits are carefully bred. Their lovey-dovey act is just for display. We're all caught up in their twisted play. So let's break free from this illusion so grand and see through the facade with hearts unplanned. No longer pawns in their game of just.
And some shit, some real shit, just a little food for thought, man. Real love don't exist no more, y'all. So before we get into this video, right? How does a panel discussion shape public perception and who gets left out of the story, right? Does a tentative agreement signal progress or just pressure to settle before public support fades? Who truly speaks for the workers, union leadership, panel experts, or the people still picking up the trash in the heat? Is the media amplifying workers' voice or sanitizing the strike for political comfort? Can a 1 week strike shift decades of wage stagnation, or was it just a symbolic stand? Is a 1,500 bonus a victory or a distraction from deeper structural inequities? My bad. Inequities. I gotta say the word right, man. I know y'all gonna laugh. I apologize. I apologize for my Spanglish.
And here in Philadelphia, the city just saw an 8-day strike by city workers. On this episode of Battleground Politics, we're talking about the impact of the strike now and in the future. The tentative agreement reached by the union and the city provides for 3% raises each year of a 3-year contract, plus a $1,500 bonus in the first year, and a provision where workers would get an additional 2% boost after they've been with the city for 4 years. The strike brought regular trash collection in the city to a halt, and it created turmoil in neighborhoods and city politics. I sat down with a panel to talk about it. We have assembled a panel to discuss how this strike played out across the city and what it will mean for other municipal unions and for Mayor Parker's political future. Joining us now are Danny Bowder from the Philadelphia AFL-CIO, Zach Kimmel, an attorney with Reed Smith LLP, who specializes in labor and employment law and representing employers. Pat Loeb is a reporter with our news partners KYW Radio, and Reverend Mark Kelly Tyler from the AME Church. He supported Mayor Parker
in the last election. Welcome to all of you. Thanks for joining the conversation today.
Whoa.
And Reverend Tyler, I'm going to start with you and take a step back as we look at the impact of this strike. 8 days for the city. And the impact, when I talk about the impact, I'm not just talking about workers, I'm not just talking about the city. This impacted regular folks going about their day. How do you view the impact of this strike on the city?
How can they say that a deal has been reached when they still got to vote it in? So in reality, a deal has not been reached.
Well, first of all, on vacation during the strike, I was getting text messages from friends outside of the city like, are these pictures true? People just could not believe the amount of trash that piled up quickly. But I think long term.
How can people not imagine the amount of trash that was going to pile up quickly when there are so many people that live in Philadelphia? What was y'all expecting? I mean, the same people that said they wasn't going to put their trash in their cars did it. From different cities, from different communities, my bad. Like, let's be real about it. What was y'all expecting? For the trash not to pile up? What's crazy is there's still people out there still trying to dump trash after they were told not to.
It's hard to see either side coming out of this saying that they were a winner. I mean, it feels to me that if I were the mayor, I'd feel kind of diminished in some ways. I mean, I guess you could take the stance that she won, but it doesn't really feel like a victory. Same with DC 33.
I said the same thing. And it feels like somebody got paid in this situation, but maybe I'm wrong. And we back on talking to the strike. Yeah, because, we was talking about what we was talking about, then boom, the news hit right back to the strike situation. So, hey, I thought about, I was going to do this later, but why not do it now and get it out the way? Let's talk about it. Let me get y'all honest opinions. If this was happening in your city, what would you do? What would you say? I mean, we can't even really say what would we do in a certain situation because we never know how we would react, right? But seeing the things that have happened, what would your opinion be? What would your perspective be on how to do things differently?
And the citizens didn't win. I mean, it just feels like at the end of the day, everybody felt deflated. No one was happy. No one really got anything to move forward. And I think it just speaks really to kind of where we are, as a society and as a city, where we can find money. Like last year, we were throwing billions of dollars around to build an arena in Chinatown that nobody really wanted. And
now y'all see why I said what I said. Instead of spending billions and billions of dollars into that, why not spend it on what's really needed? Nobody wanted that arena, but it still got built. So instead of spending it on what's really needed to make the city better, the money is being spent on things that are unnecessary. Like I've been saying for the past couple of days, I'm going to be raw and uncut, and I'm going to cut this shit down the middle. All right? Right is right, and wrong is wrong. Those are the only things you cannot cut down the middle. But everything else can be cut down the middle. I don't give a fuck how anybody feels. And guess what? I'm not at a meeting. I'm not at an event. So y'all getting me how I am. This is me. Listen, what y'all think? Politicians, once they're off the mic and off the camera, they don't get the same way? Hell yeah. The fuck wrong with people? They say bitch, shit, hell. They say all that. I heard one say, bitch, please. I was like, oh shit. She said, bitch, please. The first time that I was like, get used to it. I was like, whoa. She said, bitch, please. I was like, I'm not her. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, because I only call a bitch when she's a bitch. Other than that, no. Miss, Mr. Like what the hell? I was shocked. I was like, she say bitch, please? I was like, oh shit. She's normal like me and you. So I'm like, man, I don't know why everybody's so Let's continue.
Here we are now. We don't have $1 or $2 an hour extra for people who are essential workers. So it just feels, it felt like to me that we can always find money for what we want, but for the people who need it the most, it's just not there.
Janie, how did you view how this played out. You were there. I saw you. You were at some of the rallies supporting DC 33.
Yeah, spent a lot of time with members of DC 33 on the picket line, like you said, rallies, things like that. I think I would really echo what Reverend Tyler said in that it really did not feel like there was a decisive victor, so to speak, if you looked at it, through that lens. But I would say, with some time now to reflect on it, and it's only been a few days, I really feel like there was an opportunity here for everyone. And, one of the statements that we put out, I mentioned that I felt like the administration had an opportunity to make a, historic, or make history and provide historic support for workers who have been for decades and for many different mayoral administrations been pushed to the side and marginalized in the way that they were treated, in these negotiations. Philadelphia is still the poorest big city in America. And we have record numbers of.
Why is Philadelphia still the poorest city in America? Why is Pennsylvania in so much debt? What is going on? I mean, I think every city and every state, from what I've been hearing, right, listening to other leaders within their communities from other cities and other states, it seems Philly is not alone. Why is it that the cities in the states in America are so poor, according to everybody? How is it?
Of citizens that live in extreme poverty. And so any increase, in wages of jobs that have, low barriers to employment, low entry barriers, is a victory for all Philadelphians. And so, it's just unfortunately kind of kept in line with the way that negotiations with 33 have gone in the past.
Well, I mean, you said there was an opportunity for something historic. The way the mayor's office looks at it, that they did do something historic. That's the way she has framed it. You don't see it that way.
I mean, historic because compared to the other mayors, a few, went from, a few stood at 5%. Then it went up to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like 11%. Then now Sherelle Parker made it 14%. So she kind of like broke the little record. That's what they're calling historic. Okay, guys, for those of y'all wondering.
That is indeed the framing from the administration. If you look at it that way, administration by administration and things like that, sure. That 1-year contract added with this 3-year contract does, equal, something that is historic. And it's not to say that there aren't raises coming. There is, the sign-in bonus that we saw as well. So there is, the additional salary step that's going in. That 5th step is great. But the fact of the matter.
Yeah, they're tripping. But that sign-in bonus, a lot of places do that, especially in the medical field. So I don't see the 1,500 being such a big deal. So I'm on the worker side on this. I don't like Sherelle Parker. I think you do need it. Like, listen, the more and more I'm listening to this, right, the more and more my perspective changes, right? Not changes. I'm gonna put it like this because I was hard-headed in the beginning, like, what the fuck? But no, then I started listening and I was like, wait, this is not making sense. But because it was coming from both sides, they was both talking some bullshit. You see where I'm coming from? But now that the heat has, lowered a little bit, right, and things are a little calmer, right, the soup is not bubbling or boiling or none of that, right, I'm listening to everybody more carefully. One fact that I do remains, there's tension between the union leader, Greg, right, and Sherelle Parker. There's some tension there. And I said that was going to give us some problems. Two, the citizens don't have patience. 3, I felt as though that the leader The union leader should have fought a little harder. You're the leader. You're supposed to stay in the front line fighting. Even if the other ones behind you stop. You're supposed to be in that front line. Listen, another thing, something is not right. Something's not adding up. It's like we're missing something. Something is not being told to us. So we're going to keep going back to square one every time we think we have, come to a conclusion or solve the puzzle. Union leader Greg need to hatch out whatever the fuck they got going on, put their ego and their pride to the side, and remember, they are the leaders. Some of the leaders of Philadelphia, they should be leading by example. This shouldn't have gotten as bad as it got. They should have been able to strike, do what they got to do, found other ways instead of polluting our streets. Philadelphia was already having rat issues, roach issues, all that shit. And all this did was make it worse. So as they also want to compensate the families, right, who had to hold on to trash, right? They got worms in their sheds and stuff like that. Are they going to compensate the families too? Listen, I can go about this in so many ways. That's why I said they started asshole backwards. I don't give a fuck who gets mad at me. So many ways we could have gone about this as leaders, but this is the route that got taken.
So understanding that's where things were going and that leverage is being taken, I think that it really put the pressure on the union. You also have the issue with the contempt motion, right? You had the picketing order and you had allegations saying that some union members were damaging vehicles, that were vandalizing vehicles, that were creating violence. Again, all allegations. But nonetheless, it put the union in a hard place to say, hey, we got to make sure our members are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Pat, let's take a turn and talk about what's ahead. You and I were at the news conference that the mayor and city officials had in City Hall this past week, and she was talking a little bit about healing. What are the challenges that are now ahead for the city and for the administration?
Yeah, I do think taking the strike hurt her a little bit, but whether anyone will still feel that sort of residual resentment by the time she's running for re-election, very unlikely. And, if you look on social media, the DC 33 president is getting as much criticism as she is, which is maybe a little confounding to me. And maybe people haven't paid attention to what he's saying, or maybe he hasn't stated it assertively enough, but I don't think it was a bad outcome. And
Let me ask y'all a question. There's something happening in every city, right, out of every state here in America. And it's crazy. I've been watching this show called The Last Ship, right? And when people think that, we're going to have an apocalypse or something like that, they right away think zombies, vampires. Why? Because probably the movies, right? But when I hear apocalypse and stuff like that, world coming to an end, I think of, grid going down, right? Trying to get the services back on, right? I think of, trying to portion your meals out, ration it, try to, learn, not learn, because I already got a green thumb and I've been teaching my kids. All right. And listen, I'm already, my daughter is a part of Girl Scouts. I got to sign her back up this year. I did it last year. I got to send her back up this year. Shout out to Sherelle Parker for bringing it back. Right. And I feel as though Girl Scouts, right, doesn't just help me with what I'm teaching her. Right. It teaches her how to become more of an entrepreneur, right? More of a leader, right? And it teaches her business. It teaches her so many things, how to deal with, we go camping. We do a lot of things when it comes to Girl Scouts. So it'll get her ready and prepare her other than what I'm just teaching her. You see where I'm coming from? So I feel like these type of programs are also needed and will benefit our kids, right? We need to bring some type of summer program, some type of program for our boys to teach them the same thing. But when I think apocalypse, I think, of us trying to save as much food as we can. The movie Mad Max, in a way, people trying to invent viruses and stuff like that to depopulate the world is already happening. Some real shit, but people sleep still. So we're not going to talk about that right now. Anyways, right? That's what I think when I think apocalypse, right? The Navy or something trying to like protect the president so that we can still keep a government. Like that's what I think when it comes to apocalypse, not fucking zombies and werewolves and fucking vampires and dead people coming from the ground. So like y'all need to like really sit here and analyze and realize they don't sit here and throw these movies in our faces for no reason. We see people just get the entertainment out of it, but they don't understand the message just being there. Listen, they're not predictions. People don't foresee the future. All right. These are things that have been planned out. People say, oh, the system is broken. It ain't the system that's fucking broken. It's the motherfucking people in the system that are corrupt. You got good people in the system and you got bad people in the system fighting each other. Then you got leaders of communities out here. I'm one of them. I showed it last time. I don't know if I put it up. If I did, let's see. And I ain't ashamed to show this shit. This ain't something I gotta hide or nothing like that. Like, I'm a leader of my own community. Like, you see where I'm coming from? I showed it on one of my lives. Fuck it. I recently showed it. I put it somewhere. I know it's on one of my cards. But I am a leader of my community. And as a block captain right here, I'm not just going to look out for my family. I'm going to look out for those within my community. See where I'm coming from? Like, I am a part of making Philadelphia more beautiful. And it's sealed. So it's kind of like I go hand in hand with them. So I'm here saying that sometimes, like, yo, Philly, get it together. There's other options. There's other ways. And they willing to listen if we do shit the right way. But, some people say that sometimes it's better to, live in a world with no government, living like Mad Max. But see, I feel as though that the rules are put in for a reason. We got amendments for a reason. We got rights for a reason. It's just the people in the motherfucking system. The system is doing exactly what the fuck the system is supposed to do. It's just that we live in an era where it's believe all women. You see where I'm coming from? We live in an era where, kids don't know shit like in our era. Has time really changed? You see where I'm coming from? In reality, it hasn't. Like, we keep thinking it's about us. Y'all not realizing that they're targeting our kids. All this, if y'all ain't peep, it affected more the kids than what it affected the adults. They closed down recreation centers, libraries, all that stuff that's free for the kids.
In this world of blame and shame, we point fingers, we play the game. But as our children cry in fear, we turn the blind eye, we shed no tears. Believe our women, they say, while our kids are led astray. Lost in darkness, lost in pain, yet their cries fall silent like the rain. It's a shame how far we've come, blaming all the men playing dumb. But our children need us near to wipe their tears and calm their fears. In this land of the free, water's a commodity for you and me. Can't you see? It's not fair, it's plain to see. People struggling to pay for something they need every day. In America where we say we're free, but water shouldn't come at a fee. A Shorty just speaking in general about the things that seem so just small. This ain't meant towards everyone, just a cry in the dark. In America where water is marked. Brothers and sisters, hear my plea. This is not about you or me. Our kids are the future, they hold the key. Wake up before we're met with defeat. In this world of chaos and strife, we must guide them to a better life. Teach them fight with honor and stealth against injustice and falsehoods that threaten our health. Let's uplift each other instead of tearing apart. Supporting one another from the start. Real men stand tall with courage in their heart, fighting for justice and truth, playing their part. Here's for the men who share their truth, never afraid to stand tall in their boots, respecting our women, fighting for what's right, supporting our kids day and night. Real women out there blazing trails, men by their side never looking pale. Rights for all, let's keep the balance true. Men have a voice, let's listen to. In this crazy world where battles are fought, let's remember the men who give it all they've got. Respect to those who speak their stories loud. Together we stand strong and proud. Together we stand, united we'll rise, setting an example for young eyes. In every step we take, in every plan, guiding the next generation's hand. Leading by actions, not just by words, teaching them to fly like birds. Showing love and respect in all we do, for they're always watching, taking cues. Hand in hand, let's pave the way for a better tomorrow, starting today. Our children learn from what they see. Let's show them how great they can be. Let's be what our children need.
And that's some real shit. Everything goes hand in hand. You see where I'm coming from? We got to do this together, but we're so divided, right? When I hear the word community, right? Unity is in it. But how can we call ourselves, how can we say we are a part of a community when we're not united? You see where I'm coming from? We're crumbling. We're doing it hand in hand. Listen, in order for you to be a part of community, right, you have to depend on one another. Because otherwise, you cannot build that community. All right? That's why when they say, oh, we live in an independent state, do we really? If we want to be independent, we might as well each build huts and fucking in the woods, in the jungle, in the forest, right? And, you know, claim that little hut, not be a part of a community, not be a part of society. And then we'll be alone, independent. But as long as you're a part of a community, there should be some type of unity, which doesn't exist no more. It doesn't. See, half y'all motherfuckers out here stuck watching fucking television. Like, a lot of us really need to revise our fucking life. Like, it's hard to explain, like, on some real shit.
You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to make a change, they want to make a difference, but still stuck in the same phase. You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to chase a bag, but stay at home and nag. Then when you ask them what they need, they say less talking, more opinions, no prayers with division. You ask me, y'all need to focus more on revision, rely less on television. How you want a future, you have no vision. This world is just like fiction. What we need is more talking, less opinions, more prayers with no division. Before you come up with a conclusion, giving people false illusions, pick up a book, do your research, learn your history before you end up in a ditch making history. Division and religion isn't working. The only way to show God our faith and love is through our actions. Our convictions is the only thing that really unite us. One God, one nation, different beliefs. There's words that can't fly with the wind. There's insults that are not violent. Meanwhile, while you're home to them, they're killing you on the inside. If I was to tell you that I didn't hurt, I would be lying. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that there's truths that lie, especially when they're telling you that they're indifferent? Getting shoved to the side because you're different. There's a hug out there someone didn't receive today. Probably because of what was said about them yesterday. Probably because of the way they was dressed today. Not realizing that the one that they hate could be the one that saves their day. But you know what? Thanks to them, it's another day in history where you get to flip the pages to your book and speak your story. And Lord, it's unholy. But you know what hurts the most? As I walk down the street and I see how easily we're divided. When we all should be united. One body, one mind, one soul, a million talents. Lord, without you, we're all divided. Forgive them, Lord, for they don't know any better. They don't know that there's someone out there that loves them.
Let me ask y'all this. What is it going to take to bring back unity within communities so that people could actually experience what a village is?
% a year in raises is, not bad. And when you add that 2% step, half the union will be eligible for that step next year when it takes effect. That's a 5% raise for half the union. And most of them will be eligible for it by the end of the raise. So that's a 5% raise for the rest of them. And the signing bonus for workers who make, as you said, not great, a $1,600, $1,500 signing bonus. That's, that is something that he could really be promoting and saying, I took this strike for a good reason. But yeah.
Well, and he has also set out things that the union has set out things that they.
No, I have a question, Greg. You were loud. You were vocal in the beginning of this strike. Then out of nowhere, 4 a.m. in the morning, while everybody was asleep, you took this deal. Now it's up to your workers to sit here and vote to see if they agree to it or not. So in reality, nobody agreed to a deal yet. So did they really reach a deal? What in the world is really going on behind those closed doors at that table? What's really happening? Did somebody get paid off? Or is they in cahoots, right, testing us to see how we would react? Are they, trying to see how we react for, in case the grid goes down? I mean, because we sure as hell not going to be sitting fighting fucking zombies like people think. Ain't no fucking zombie apocalypse happening, okay? Ain't no zombie apocalypse. If anything, it's going to be us fighting each other like on fucking Mad Max. Fighting to survive. Shit, we doing now. We already practicing for that. Like I told y'all, if war came, we drop like motherfucking flies.
They said that the city wanted that they knocked down. We heard from Mayor Parker when she addressed the city after this tentative agreement was set, and she said, as she has said before, that she is a pro-union, pro-labor public official. That is how she identifies herself. Is she still viewed that way in the city?
I would say probably by and large, yes. And, one thing that the mayor did say yesterday, and I believe that you mentioned earlier in this, is, that there's time to heal. And I think that there's, time for us to have opportunities to work together again in the future on, areas of mutual interest, for instance, transit funding.
Transit funding, what's going to happen with SEPTA?
Mm-hmm.
Certainly that's out there. Reverend Tyler?
Yeah, so I was thinking of something that Danny, you said earlier about a missed opportunity, and that's kind of been resonating with me throughout this whole ordeal. I mean, so her three major issues, who can forget, right? I want to make the city the safest, cleanest, greenest. She kept saying it till it became a mantra. All three of those were under scrutiny this week, right? So the cleanness, obviously, and this also exposed us to all this trash we accumulate, green. And there was a horrific shootout, at the same time. So all of these initiatives are kind of right in the news. So it speaks to me about, it's easy to come up with a campaign slogan. I think if she didn't know it before now, she knows now. It's much more.
Yo, I gotta pause it right here, and I gotta show y'all something, okay? Because this is fucking me up, right? Demand their presence. Demand to talk to them. Why isn't Shapiro involved now, the governor, especially after this strike? What is he doing? Is he still in his vacation in the beach like Biden was at one point? What is Shapiro's fraud ass fucking doing for Philadelphia? Why is everything just pinned on the motherfucking mayor?
Billionaires who come out, when they want something, the checkbook is wide open. This was an opportunity to go to people to talk about investing in Philly. I'll just tell you, I was embarrassed and appalled to find out that sanitation workers only make 18 to 22 an hour. I always thought because they were union jobs that, I see these guys and I'm like, oh, you guys should be doing more than that for like what you're getting paid. Now I'm like, oh.
Hold up. I thought the sanitation workers was only making $15 to $16 an hour. According to the previous videos, according to the reporters, according to the sanitation workers. See how I told y'all I wasn't wrong when I told y'all the sanitation workers got paid between the ranges of 16. I thought it was 25, but it's actually 22. So it depends on what they're doing in the sanitation department. That's why I don't like misspreading information. I don't. I like doing my research. So y'all might see me take a little pause and a break on a video, and then I'll be back on it maybe weeks or months later, and it's because I had to do my research. I'm not going by what he say, she say. I'm going to sit here and connect dots. So they do get paid from 16 to 22 an hour.
I see why you do what you do when I see you doing it, because you can literally get more working at fast food. And that's, it's a heck of a job to do in the seasons that we call them to do it. So I do think it's a missed opportunity. And I'm looking for not just historic contracts, but transformative contracts.
Well, we do have more contracts coming up in the city. And Pat, I know you'll be covering this as the city negotiates these, and really already is negotiating them.
Yes, and typically because the police and fire go to arbitration, they get more than the union, DC 33 and 47 are able to negotiate directly with the city. And so in a way, it was important for the mayor in her quest for fiscal stability to hold the line on increases, because she's looking at those setting the standard, the base for what comes next.
And Zach, how much does that play into things if you are...
The way this is going, I'm not the only one thinking that, what's going on between the union worker and the city. Listen, it's the union worker and the city, the city of Philadelphia playing in the faces of the citizens. Is the union workers, right, in the city of Philadelphia playing in the faces of their citizens?
If you are a city, if you are a municipality or a state or a county, and you are negotiating one contract and you've got other ones coming down the pike, how does that impact the negotiations? What have you seen?
No, it has to, right? I mean, I think the mayor made very clear what her strategy is going to be and what her administration strategy is going to be. And it's going to be aggressive, but it's also clear that when they put their foot down and they draw a line in the sand, they're going to hold to that. And I think that they're trying to signal to the unions that they're not messing around when they provide.
And Zach, how much does that play into things if you are... I know you'll be covering this as the city negotiates these, and really already is negotiating.
Did she say his name?
Yes, and typically because the police and fire go to arbitration, they get more than the union, DC 33 and 47 are able to negotiate directly with the city. And so in a way, it was important for the mayor in her quest for fiscal stability to hold the line on increases, because she's looking at those setting the standard, the base for what comes next.
And Zach, how much does that play into things if you are...
Who is he?
If you are a city, if you are a municipality or a state or a county, and you are negotiating one contract, and
She just went to him. Who the fuck is Font? I mean, I know who the other three are. Obviously, I've seen them around. Well, not the bald-headed dude, but the other two, yes. But who the fuck is this pastor looking like? I mean, who is this preacher? He look like a lawyer too. I mean, I don't know, what is he? He could be a lawyer. Not a teacher. Teachers dress regularly. He could be a lawyer, a teacher. A lawyer, a preacher. There you go. I don't know why I kept saying teacher. And not even. See, preachers dress regularly too. I think he a pastor. He got to be. Look at the way he's sitting and everything. Either he a lawyer or a pastor.
You've got other ones coming down the pike. How does that impact the negotiations? What have you seen?
No, it has to, right? I mean, I think the mayor made very clear what her strategy is going to be and what her administration strategy is going to be. And it's going to be aggressive, but it's also clear that when they put their foot down and they draw a line in the sand, they're going to hold to that. And I think that they're trying to signal to the unions that they're not messing around when they provide something, and they provide the rationale, and this is why they're doing it. The flip side of that whole thing is that, all these other unions are going to look to these negotiations and they're going to say, okay, maybe the 3%, that's the floor. Maybe we can.
This shit is crazy because listen, Philadelphians are hard-headed, and I don't think that not just Philadelphians are hard-headed. I don't know what city and state you're watching from, but are people hard-headed in your city and state? Union workers, citizens. I think we got hard-headed people everywhere. People just don't want. I think some might not want the change, but others are afraid of the change. Shout out to those that are willing to make change.
Can go a little bit higher, and we'll see what they're going to go for, but. Again, Mayor Parker, right? Fiscal responsibility, fiscal stability, that seems to be the mantra.
How are you expecting these next negotiations to be impacted by what we just saw?
It's hard to say. As Pat said,
Oh, she's just asking questions and not saying names. Like, oh, we're just supposed to figure out who they are.
The Local 22, the firefighters, and FOP Lodge 5 end up in binding arbitration. But District Council 47's Local 2187 is, in negotiations with the city currently and has been for a few weeks. They have a strike vote scheduled, I believe, on the 15th. And so
Oh, who's going to strike now on the 15th?
Local 22, the firefighters, and FOP Lodge 5 end up in binding arbitration. But District Council 47's Local 2187 is, in negotiations with the city currently and has been for a few weeks. They have a strike vote scheduled, I believe.
Hold the fuck up. Wait a minute. So now the fire department is on strike. Didn't your commissioner get a raise? What is going on, Philadelphia? What in the world is really going on? Didn't they? You know what? So what? The whole city gonna be on strike? So why don't y'all just boycott? Take away their funds before they take away our sons. Shout out to Jennifer Lewis. Boycott
on the 15th. And so I would imagine that the outcome of the strike or the end of the strike has certainly influenced the negotiations that have taken place since Tuesday, and would likely, influence how the members.
Yo, hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. Hold on. Wait, I gotta think about this. Calm the fuck down. Wait a minute. So, firefighters are on strike. Didn't we just have a situation with the 911? Isn't like Pennsylvania, I think, or is it statewide? Wasn't we just having 911 issues? Hold on. I know I wasn't tripping. All right, so ay, comunidad con la piscina de yo no sé. Right. Jumpless. Keep your damn commercials. Y'all know what y'all should do? If y'all do get some commercials in Spanish, man, make sure that it's like a little clip from El Chavo del Ocho, Chespirito. Lo hice. What was it? What was it that he used to say? No fue mi intención. What was it? Lo hice. What is it? Oh, I can't remember. Man. But y'all should play some clips, man. All right. So we're not just having 911 issues, right? Statewide, right? Because it's Pennsylvania statewide 911 outrage. So they had a conference. Hold on, we're gonna get right back to him. Well, let's let him finish. Like, and then I'm gonna show y'all the conference. Like, what's going on? Like, we're already having issues with the 911 calls. People are having trouble getting through 911. Hold up.
Members of 287 feel when they're looking at whether or not to authorize a strike on, the 15th.
Does this have the possibility of having...
The 15th is in 3 days. So y'all planning to go back on strike? I mean, no, wait. The fire department is going on strike on the 15th. And it's just one district. Didn't the commissioner get a raise? Why are they going on strike? It's already bad enough. That we're having issues trying to get through 911. And man, yo, there's so many houses on fire, so many explosions happened throughout the 4th of July week. So much shit happened, even before that. When the summer, this has been one hot summer. Let me put it like that. And no firefighters to come out? I'm just hoping it's one district. Not all districts. Because, boy, it'll be crazy.
Having any kind of lasting impact, whether that's political impact or whether it's how people view the city and city services and whether they can rely on those city services, how they feel about where they live. Does anyone think that this has the possibility to have a lasting impact, or do we turn the page and move on?
You know, it has a lasting impact for what city employees make. And as Reverend Tyler said, this particular union, they went 5 years without a raise in the early 2000s. They do deserve more. But is this the time to try to make up for years of...
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is this actually the time? Yo, I'm telling y'all might as well boycott. This is crazy and shout out. Everybody needs to boycott. Listen, that's the only language that the people of power understand. But you know what? I'm going to shut the fuck up because nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to hear what a Shorty got to say on some real shit.
Deprivation. With the Trump administration changing the calculus for what cities will receive in federal funding, it's a very large risk to try to make up for those
Trump mad at Pennsylvania because they try to assassinate him. That's what it is.
Years of poor raises.
Well, yeah, if you're done. Well, I was going to just say that, you bring in the Trump administration on the ground, as a person in this area, sometimes it feels that you can't catch a break anywhere. So you get it from, if you're a Democratic voter, like.
Is he a reverend? Like, you look familiar.
Most people in Philly, you get it from a Democratic administration. You get it from the federal government, this, constant pushing down on people who are at the very bottom. And at the same time, at the very top, you look and nobody's cutting anything there. They're only increasing and getting more. And so it's I don't know where the breaking point is, but it just feels like we're moving closer to that. And I hope that the breaking point is actually something that breaks for the good and not for our bad, because I think the opportunity is always before us to do more.
We're going to have to leave the conversation there. Thank you.
I think there's a middleman somewhere, right? I don't know if y'all have heard rumors throughout the years, right? I've heard them same rumors, right? They want to push to get this martial law shit, right? And I think that if, enough shit happens throughout different cities, enough people rioting, people dying, the mass shootings, the violence, all that rise and skyrocket, they found their ticket in. See, we're not paying attention. The same shit with this immigration stuff. Like, if everybody go and joins the situation that's happening with the immigration stuff, right? The fighting back towards ICE, unaliving people, all this shit. Man, y'all not paying attention. I can only say but so much right now. I want to say a little more, but nah. I already lost a channel before. Not even my disclaimer could save me. But let's pay attention. So we've already had 911 dispatchers on strike. Now the firefighters are going on strike, right? We've already had issues with people trying to call the police department, right? To try to get either ambulance or a police or a firefighter to a house. Calls can't go through the 911 operation system, all right? So this is a conference that PEMA provides update on Pennsylvania statewide 911 outreach. Let's hear a little bit of what they got to say, right? Because this is crazy. What's going to happen? Like, everybody on yo, I'm telling y'all, watch. We won't do it willingly, so they're going to fucking poke the bear to get the job done.
I'm Randy Patfield. Caulfield, the director at the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency, and I'm here to brief you on an ongoing issue that we've had with the Next Gen 911 system across the state earlier this afternoon. I'd like to start off with the governor has been briefed regarding this situation. We are in constant contact, and we are providing updates as necessary as the troubleshooting continues with the system. To lead in with what we want people to know immediately is that they should still continue to use the 911 system to be able to call for emergency situations. I'll get into a little bit of the specifics regarding what we saw in the system and the activity, but we still want them to utilize the 911 system.
Let me ask y'all a question, right? And I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk this right now. So do Shorty a favor, right? Because I know asking this question is gonna risk it. Share the video. All right. Listen, we know that we're under WW3, right? All this is happening, right, in the politics over there, Iran and all these other countries, right? Do you believe that they have hacked? Do y'all believe that the terrorists have hacked somehow, some way our system, able to, get into people's personal accounts, into, social media, and much more? Because look what's happening right now with the 911 situation. And what's crazy is they're planning on doing more strikes, knowing that we're having these type of issues within the cities. So the fire department goes on strike. Who's next? The police department? Then the sanitation workers again? And in the midst of all this, us being, distracted trying to solve this, all that is happening right underneath our noses. I could be close, but I had to risk it, man. And I had to, try to put it out there the best way, I could, because I couldn't say everything that's in my head right now. I know that, I have to censorize myself. Sensitize myself. There you go.
If the 911 system, if the call does not go through or the call drops for some reason, please follow the instructions that are provided by your 911 system that was usually provided in a follow-on message. And that usually entails calling the 7-digit administrative line for the 911 center, which will get you into the 911 center.
Basically, for those of y'all that don't understand his language, if you call the non-emergency number they got for whatever district, is around you, you should get a answer. But damn, even with that, the calls pile up. Imagine. That's crazy.
And they can route the call and handle the call from there. So I think that's very key. So earlier this afternoon around 2 p.m., our Next Gen 911 service provider that provides the network services for the Commonwealth detected a situation on the 911 network where calls were intermittently failing to be delivered. This was originally detected with...
So are the calls being intersected? Are our systems being hacked? Are y'all going to be truthful with what I'm asking?
Calls going into the Delaware County 911 Center. The Next Gen 911 service provider immediately notified our 911 team and engaged to start the troubleshooting the issue and identify the root cause of the issue. As a standard practice, and we have a number of standard operating procedures we use for these types of situations, a conference bridge line was established with all the public safety answering points or 911 centers that included PEMA 911 staff and the vendors that support the county 911 system to be able to get a better handle on what the impacts were across the state. Other counties began reporting similar issues, and without being able to identify a cause out of an abundance of caution, a statewide wireless emergency alert and emergency alert system message was sent to the public to notify them of the intermittent issues.
I know. I got it yesterday. And
I want to stress these were intermittent issues, and that if they experienced an issue calling 911, they should follow the instructions of their 911 center, which usually, like I said, involved calling the 7-digit administrative line for each public safety answering point and they would be able to deliver the call from there and dispatch the call accordingly. Currently, our teams are engaged with the public safety answering points or 911 centers and the next gen 911 service provider monitoring the system. And the system continues to have some intermittent connectivity issues at this point in time. They're still trying to troubleshoot. As last updated, it seemed like a majority of the calls were being delivered. However, they were intermittent issues related to that. Some of them may not have location data. Some of that may have not or may not have number data associated with that. So they still continue to work that. A root cause is yet to be identified. The next gen 911 service provider continues to work to identify the causative factors for the intermittent connectivity issues. At this time, like I said, individuals should continue to use 911. And if they would call 911 for an emergency and the call is not delivered, they should use the backup 7-digit administrative line or follow the instructions of their local 911 center or public safety answering point.
So let me ask you this, right? If the backbone of emergency response can fail statewide, what does that say about our infrastructure priorities? Should Pennsylvanians trust a system that needed a full alert to confirm it was broken or demand a redesign? My bad. Is saving a non-emergency number on your phone enough, or is that just a band-aid for a deeper system failure? How many lives could be lost in the minutes between outage and alert, and who's accountable for that gap? Something's not right. We're not being told something, right? And I'm not sure if Pennsylvania, right? I'm in Philadelphia, right, which is a part of Pennsylvania, is the only place that's having these type of issues. Is y'all noticing something? I mean, am I the only one I may sound crazy right now, but it's just that I've been diving down rabbit holes, right? And I'm not on some conspiracy type shit. It's just that this is the facts from what I'm seeing. Like, this shit is crazy. What's coming is the question that I have. What are we being distracted from?
We ask that the public do not test the system at this point by calling 911 just as a test, as it creates some challenges with the traffic coming into the 911 system. If they test the system and hang up on the system, that is considered an abandoned call. The 911 centers have to go back and investigate that call. So we ask for the public's cooperation as we continue. We'll provide additional updates as they become available.
I know you said that this started at 2 o'clock, and at this point you're still trying to identify it. Is this something that is a tech problem, software problem, or is it, I don't know, cyber attack? What is it?
I was just asking
to tell a lot of things on it. So they continue to troubleshoot.
Dude, the more and more you talk, it sounds like a fucking cyber attack with everything that's going on around us. Why can't y'all be honest? See, people will respect y'all politicians if y'all was more honest and up for with us, for real, for real. But y'all mofos is just out here for the fucking money, y'all greedy ass motherfuckers.
Shoot it. It could be a software issue. It could be a hardware issue. What we know is that it doesn't appear to be the result of a software update that was pushed based on our communications with the next gen 911 service provider. So other than that, that's all we know at this point in time. They continue to troubleshoot. They have a number of technical experts engaged on their end to try to determine what the causative factor happens to be.
How long do you expect this outage to last?
So it's,
you don't know
it's
either.
not an outage. It's an intermittent issue that we're dealing with. So we're really not sure right now. That's why we have the bridge line open. So as soon as, the next gen 911 service provider, they're tracking everything. They're trying.
With all the technology that y'all got, you're telling me you don't know. You don't know? Why did it take hours to confirm the outage wasn't cyber related? And what does that delay do to the public confidence? Should PEMA release the full root cause analysis publicly, or will it be buried in I can never say the word right. Bureaucratic language. That's the best way I can say it for y'all, all right? Fucking bureaucracy. Shit. Hate pronouncing certain words. bureaucratic. Hey.
To troubleshoot, if they implement a remedy for it, we can get real-time feedback from all the 911 centers. So that's why we have the bridge line open at this point in time and monitoring that. So we'll provide additional updates as they become available. We understand that this is concerning because people want to have faith in the 911 system. Like I said, we have procedures in place to be able to kind of troubleshoot this and determine.
Well, it seems like all those that was wishing to defund the police, your dreams are coming true.
You know, whether it is a network issue, whether it's a software or hardware issue, or whether it lies sometimes outside of the network.
Are some calls going through or?
Yes. So there are calls that are being delivered. It's been an intermittent and sporadic issue. And as I indicated, some of the calls, the next gen 911 system delivers specific information with those calls, right? So it delivers an XY coordinate for a location. That data may not be coming through on the call, or the callback number that you're calling from may not be coming through. So it's very intermittent and sporadic at this point in time. So they continue to troubleshoot.
Oh, shit.
Do we have any data on how many 911 calls didn't go through because of this intermittent issue?
Not currently right now. We continue to track that.
Do you foresee this happening tomorrow as well, or you just don't know?
Our goal is to get this resolved in the shortest amount of time possible. And so that's why we have all the technical experts engaged with our team and all the county public safety answering points. So the goal is to get this.
And you still can't figure it out. Well, all the nerds in your team and you still can't figure it out. You lying sack of fucking shit, like my old head would say.
Resolved in the shortest amount of time possible, and then provide the update as necessary so everybody understands that we've identified the issue and that, or at least we've resolved the issue and the system is stabilized. There is a tremendous amount of redundancy built into the next gen 911 system. We've seen it.
Listen, man, y'all can build whatever y'all want to build. What does it feel like to dial 911 and hear silence? And how do we honor that fear in future planning? Is resolved just a technical term, or does it mean the public can truly feel safe again? And I don't like when they say resolved, they're still trying to figure it out. Should residents have a say in how emergency systems are built and maintained, or is that left to vendors and contracts? And I feel as though that should be left to, I feel as though that should be, I don't know. That should be left to vendors and contract, but I would love to hear your honest opinion. Should they have, should residents have a say-so on how emergency systems are built? I think we should have a say-so on how the people managing it should deal with it. I don't know if I said that right.
Actually performed flawlessly for a lot of severe weather incidents where there are a lot of 911 calls come into the system. So this is not something, this is more of an anomaly for us and for the next gen 911 service provider. So to have something like this happen and have it intermittent and sporadic. So we're definitely taking a look at that, and we want to resolve it in the shortest amount of time possible. Like I said, we have all the technical expertise engaged right now.
So explain how this sort of system is being interrupted, I guess. Like what I'm trying to ask is, I guess, it starts in Delco, spreads around the state, you're having intermittent issues. Like, is this a service you can turn off, or because it sounds like it's a little complicated, but it sounds like, is this something you can turn off? Is it something you could go back to a redundant system? How does it work?
So there is redundancy. There are 2 call centers in the state essentially, and there's redundancy built into each one of those call centers. Right. So I'm not a technical expert in it, but there is a tremendous amount of redundancy built into the system. So they have the ability to be able to switch certain call centers off, or certain pieces of a call center off, and then be able to route calls through the alternate call center as well if they need to. So the system architecture is designed to be robust.
Yeah. All right. So that's just a little bit of that interview right there. Man, it is so much going on, guys. Like, man, but that's all I'm going to cover. I just hit a 4-hour mark. I went over the 2 hour. I didn't even realize that until now. All right. But I really wanted to get this out there for y'all, right? Like, a Shorty's not picking a side. I'm on both sides. The unions on worker sides, the mayor side. But something has to get resolved when it comes to this, this strike situation. But it is so much that's happening, and it's going to continue to happen. What can the citizens of Philadelphia or any other city or state, right, that is going through something, could do to come together, right, unite and try to, you know, make a change and a difference within the things that are happening in that city, right? If we find the right solution, use it. But one thing that I can sit here and tell you is that me personally, I'm not taking an excuse for an answer. Point blank. Simple as that. There are so many ways that we can go about so many things, right? But people choose, right, to go the route that they go, right? We decide to blame God for all the problems around us and the devil for all our mistakes and not take accountability for the things that we do, all right? So for those of y'all, man, make sure y'all inbox Shorty, right? If y'all are interested in any of the Writers for Life merchandise. I just hit the wrong button. My bad. I don't know why that just happened. Can you just take that off my background? All right. Just make sure y'all DM Shorty for any of the Writers for Life merchandise, man. If y'all interested in the merchandise, DM Shorty, and I'll let you know how you can receive one of our shirts, hoodies, caps, joggers, beanies, right, with a poem, a quote, a phrase, or our logo. All right. Just DM Shorty on Instagram, right? And we'll go on from there. All right. So this is the Shorty's merchandise. Just make sure y'all hit the Shorty up. All right. But with that being said, my bad. I'm over here skipping, right? Make sure y'all hit the Shorty up. With that being said, guys, right? Y'all can DM the Shorty. All right. The profit that I make out of all of this is going to help Shorty's cause towards her community center, her channel, and much more. All right. So those are ways that y'all can, support a Shorty, right? The PayPal Cash App is down below. All right. So if y'all wish to support the organization for Writers for Life, do so. Links are in the description box down below, right? What I want to do with the profit, right, is open up a community center for our youth here within our community in the HP area, right? And if y'all been following me for a minute, man, y'all know what it is that I want to do, how I want to do it, right? The lady gave me an offer, so if Shorty's going to work her ass off to make that money, man, I'm not rich, so I got to get it from the bottom up. So whether it's through fundraising, selling merchandise, listen, I'm going to do what I got to do. All right? The only thing I won't do is pull a Cardi B. But with that being said, y'all, till next time, it's y'all Shorty Racheal. I hope all of y'all have a blessed and humble day. Continue to have a blessed and humble afternoon, man. I'll see y'all on the next line.
Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You understand the 7 demons within you. You understand the whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We didn't go over that, but anyway, so participate and give that energy away so they can have those